refund? It feels like the last level of a video game, facing off against the final boss who stands between you and your refund.
All your refund is belong to me.
Using the power of TaxSlayer like a secret power-up he doesn't see coming.
Only the most tax confident can defeat me.
Throwing your laptop at his video game face and watching him crumble into a giant pile of shiny coin tax refunds.
Oh, not fair. You use TaxSlayer.
Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
KHTKAM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
It's time. It is that time. Time for Stiles and Watkins.
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140. Find us on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140.
It's time for Alan Stiles and Chris Watkins.
Yes. We are beaming on a Tuesday as the Kings scrape by the shorthanded, scrappy Grizzlies. I don't know if scraped was more than a scrape or was a scrape. A scrape is like a last-minute shot that was missed.
Yeah, they
skirted by,
sleptwalked.
Yeah,
they survived in a weird way because, if they would have lost last night, it would have been tough. It would have been tough to come in today, and I wouldn't have blamed anybody for being furious. And I'm gonna use the term survive because in the middle of a road trip when you're playing a team that I think nobody has any expectations for, it's almost like a trap game. But that still is not a good enough excuse when they have 8 players that are active and 4 of them are probably G leaguers. We don't need that. Let's not talk like that. It was a great day. They got the win, and on to the next one. On to Miami now.
Matthew Hurt. That was his debut out of Duke. And not a bad debut, 10 points, right? 23 minutes. That's why we knew that the Grizzlies, it wasn't going to be for a lack of effort. These dudes are young. These dudes are hungry. This was an opportunity for them to kind of make their stand. And honestly, I think everybody got what they wanted, right? The Grizzlies got a loss because at this point,
right? What are you winning for?
They're just trying to get back into that lottery. And you saw some good things happen from Scottie. By the way, Scottie Pippen Jr.
Yeah.
You can't be 6'1", and I don't know if he just had a bad day, but you can't be an undersized point guard and shoot 4 for 7 from the free throw line. That's just not gonna work.
How about 6 of 10? How's that feel? That's what our point guard did.
Well, but De'Aaron, it's a little bit different.
I mean, Scottie Pippen's not going to stay in the league very long.
No,
Scottie Pippen Jr. will not stay in the league long if he's not going to make free throws. But
I'm saying, you have to do other things.
You got to do other things for sure.
Yeah, you have to do other things. And I'm looking here. Career, actually, he's pretty similar to De'Aaron, to be honest. His career, his regular season, this season, he's only played 4 games.
I think he's
71%. So you get right back, you get right in there and you start clanking. Career, he shoots 65%. So that's bad. That's bad, Scottie Jr., if you want to stay in the league. But, hey, I guess you can't really throw stone from a glass house with De'Aaron Fox. You're note-taking. He had been hot, but he is, last night wasn't great. And honestly, what a bizarre game that you bring up, Chris. How are you the only person that shot free throws? How is that possible?
It's definitely interesting. I don't know if I've seen it before.
I've never seen that.
It's definitely, especially I say only 10. An individual getting 10 is significant, but the fact that the Kings as a team only get 10 free throws in general is, I think it's a sign that that's, again, something that this team desperately needs. At the beginning of this season, when you kind of got your first taste of Kings basketball this year, the question that you asked really, you were spot on from like the second week. You said, why do they shoot so much? Why are they seemingly so one-dimensional? And I think the free throws is definitely it's a cause of that. It's because they don't drive, and they really don't. It's Malik and De'Aaron are really the only two that actively drive the lane. Of course, Sabonis is in the paint, but he's getting beat up all the time and rarely getting calls. So I really think it's a product of the fact that the Kings just don't have anybody on their roster who attacks the rim with the necessary aggression for the entirety of the game, really.
Well, and we have sound from Sabonis where he jokes about the career high 26 rebounds. So we'll play that a little bit later, which is funny because he jokes about the team missing when in reality he had he had 6 offensive rebounds and 20 defensive rebounds.
Yeah.
So it really wasn't because of the team clanking, but together he got 26, which is a career high. It's just hard for me to think you got 6 offensive rebounds and didn't get fouled going back up once.
Not once, not a single time.
That seems
by a bunch of G Leaguers too. I mean, Sharon Jackson also, who's a foul
he's a
merchant,
hack.
if you will.
Yeah, he is a hack of the highest order. And you have, let's see, looking at some of the numbers here, Sabonis 20 points, obviously the 26 rebounds, career high. Harrison Barnes cools off a bit. They were trying to feed the beast.
They were.
Feed the beast.
Put him up.
Harrison Barnes was definitely trying to do his thing, but it did not work out the way I think we all, or it did work out the way we all thought it would, eventually cooling off 2 for 10 from 3-point land,
Yikes.
5 for 15 from the field.
Yeah.
Keegan Murray, a weird Keegan Murray game, 5 points, only 7 field goal attempts. De'Aaron, a 23 to just kind of, again, sleepwalk.
Yeah.
Kevin Huerter, great, good to see, 3 for 8 from 3-point land. Didn't necessarily light it up, but did a lot of good things, found a way to get to 17 points. Yeah, just a game that I know we've talked about burning the tape, but this does feel like a game where it's, hey,
there's nothing productive from
we
that.
got the W. The Heat are salivating, waiting to hopefully get a W. They've lost 7 straight.
Ugh.
We got to focus on Wednesday. That's what I would imagine. That's what I would imagine that Coach Mike Brown is doing. You're going to want to hang around. We're doing it at 1 p.m. again. Live Nation has teamed up with Sactown Sports to hook you up with tickets to check out comedy legend Eddie Griffin live at Hard Rock, Sacramento, April 13th. Hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline at 1 p.m. and we will give you that number of the caller that we need. Had a winner yesterday. We talked about Undercover Brother. We hear Hard Rock Sacramento is beautiful this time of year. So you definitely don't want to miss that at 1 p.m. Nate Littlefield doing his thing for us behind the glass. Plenty of Niners talk to get to as well. And yeah, Chris, how did the post game go? How are you feeling after this game?
Yeah.
After this game ended?
It was weird because, it's not really an inspiring performance. And it's a little bit one where it feels like after the game, you should probably be a little bit more critical than glad that they got the result because they only scored 103 points as well. Like that's terrible coming off of what might have been your best collective offensive game of the season. And really it speaks to just more instability from this team. I mean, it seems like they can't find their identity and stick with it for multiple games. I'm not saying they switched up their identity, but, to go from hitting all of these shots against Golden State where, there was periods where they were shooting 50% from the field and over 50% from 3, and they knocked down all their free throws. And then the very next game to just miss everything. It's so hard to get any sort of consistency from game to game and, get into a rhythm when you just don't know what you're going to. It's truly like the Kings are a box of chocolates. You just have no idea from the perimeter what you're going to get. And, in a weird way, I guess I'm kind of glad they got this stinker out of the way now and got the win still because you said it, Miami's on a 7-game losing streak. And, you better hope that if they sucked yesterday shooting, hopefully for some reason, maybe it'll bounce back in Miami. I'm just hoping that, I don't know if they stayed the night yesterday in Miami. I don't know when they plan to arrive in Miami, but just again, hoping
it's
that
not going to be a problem.
Hey man, I hope not. If it's not dead in late January on a Tuesday in Miami, I don't know when it is going to be dead.
Right. So. It's the great point on the timing. If this was the summer, not that they play in the summer, might be a little bit more worried. I'll put it to you like this, Chris, and we're going to get back into this after the break, but I have no issue. And, we saw a couple different Kings media and Kings content creators upset about yesterday. It sounds like you just a little bit disappointed, but you got it done. Yeah. I'm be honest with you. I don't have a problem with this game at all. Really? I don't have a problem with this game at all because I think a month ago they lose this game. That's why I don't have a problem.
That's
with
interesting.
It.
Right.
So, we'll break it down, but I don't really have a problem with it. if you go out and sync up, because you just need W's at this point in time.
Right.
And I'm more so judging the Kings when they play teams that matter.
Sure. Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So what do you do against a Heat team that's reeling?
Yeah.
What do you do? Whether they get Halliburton or not, what do you do against the Pacers and the Bulls on that back-to-back, and the Bulls, respectable team, trade rumors. So that's why I don't have a problem with it.
That. Yeah.
Because a month ago, they probably lose this game. Before we get to a break, Joel Embiid, the bad teams merchant. Okay, there are made up stats about Joel Embiid, but they played the Nuggets on Saturday, and pretty late scratch. Yeah. Joel Embiid ends up not facing Jokic. Now, he didn't have a problem facing Jokic. And what was that, Chris? He hasn't played in Denver in
I don't even know.
2
It's
years.
It's been crazy.
At least
I don't
2
even
years.
know how long it's been. It's been an insane amount of time, though.
And people are thinking, is Joel Embiid ducking the smoke from Jokic? So what happens is it's a knee injury. We know that Joel Embiid has had knee injuries in the past. So then they face the Trailblazers.
Real quick, sorry. Joel Embiid hasn't played in Denver since November 8th, 2019.
Wow.
Pre-pandemic.
That is crazy. Where you at, Joel? Where you at? So then they go on to take on the Trailblazers, and I think it was a little bit, look, if he's really injured that bad, obviously we would not be saying these things. We don't know.
Sounds like tinfoil hats coming on.
We don't know. But then you don't play against the Trailblazers, and I think
little cover in your trail?
He couldn't. There is no way he could play against the Blazers after not playing against the Nuggets. There's no way.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. I didn't think about that, but you're definitely right.
It would have looked so bad.
It would have looked really bad.
And they got smacked.
And they got smacked
by the Blazers.
Crazy.
So that's worst case scenario.
Yeah.
You actually played pretty well against the Nuggets without, and they didn't have Maxey either.
Really?
I
didn't realize
they did not have Maxey against the Nuggets.
And I saw they didn't have him last night either.
So, right. So they're real. I wouldn't say reeling. And look, I know there's no love lost between the Kings and the Warriors, but probably the Warriors are going to get a taste of how it feels to be the Kings, because the Sixers are probably going to get both guys back for that game.
Probably.
At least Embiid.
Doesn't feel nice, does it?
So that's how it is to be on the other side of things. Got to get to a break. When we get down, continuing to break down the Kings. It is a W. A win is a win is a win. Also, we will talk about Domas's career high in rebounds. Tom Brady speaks on Brock Purdy, and we have more information on the Raiders, who they would root for, Raiders fans, between the Chiefs and the Niners. There is an angle of this we did not mention yesterday. And at 12 o'clock, I went to the Niners game. I was down in the Bay Area, and I have a source of a very bizarre situation being kicked around with the A's. You are not going to want to miss this at 12 o'clock. I've never heard anything like this. Not to say it's going to happen, but the idea is being kicked around. It is the most unique thing you have ever heard in sports. Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings road trip continues Wednesday in South Beach.
Herter with a wraparound, and Sabonis rips it down for a 20-20 game.
It's the Kings and the Heat.
Wednesday at 4:30 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-859-3220. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-859-3220. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-859-3220. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-859-3220, 800-859-3220, or biglou.com.
Sactown Sports.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
We are back, and we are beaming as the Kings, 3 straight now?
Four
Straight. Well, 3 on the road.
3 on the road.
3 on the road. And now they are undefeated on this road trip. And look, it's the path to get to 5. Can you get to 5-2 on this road trip? Yeah. I think that would be outstanding. It started at 4, wanting to be 4-3, but now at 3-0, that Mavs game was huge. And now, you have an opportunity. Look, the Heat are reeling, and they're going to be ready to go. We know Heat culture. We get all that. But if you come out, I think with the Heat, the whole reeling thing, that matters at the very beginning. I don't know what time the fans are going to get there in Miami. Yeah. They're probably enjoying themselves.
Probably not on time. Yeah.
Doing something like that. But if you are able to just hang around, I think it just becomes an even playing field. And honestly, then the pressure goes. There's no pressure on the Kings to win. The pressure is on the Heat to get off this losing streak that they're on. So if the Kings can hang on early and not get blown out of the water, I think this Heat team, really the most surprising thing, and they've really struggled since the Rozier trade. I've only watched a couple. I watched the Knicks game over the weekend, which I thought they had a good shot in, because Chris, and we'll preview more tomorrow, it is a matchup night. On paper, it's a matchup nightmare for teams. You got to deal with, I'm just looking at the Kings defensively. You got Jimmy Butler, you got Bam, you got Terry Rozier, and you got Tyler Hero. Mm-hmm. All of those guys, and I'm thinking how they match up, and you have Kevin Huerter, who's been playing outstanding defense lately.
Yes.
But everybody would, I guess you have to put Keegan on Jimmy Butler. You have to do that.
Yeah, I guess.
So that puts Kevin on
Jimmy Butler's eyes are going to light up.
Well, hold on now.
I just mean in general, he's going to see Keegan across from him, and he's going to be like, this guy can't guard me. Whether or not he can or not, I'm not here to say, but I feel like Jimmy Butler is going to see shy, timid Keegan Murray and be like, this is the kind of guy I eat.
Hey, what was it? What is it? Still waters run deep, or so that's what my mom always said, and I don't really know why she said that to me, because I talk a lot. So I'm thinking,
maybe she was trying to tell you. She's like, Alan, you're not that deep.
Yeah, it was just a really beautiful way of saying shut up. So you look at that situation. You look at Tyler Hero. And I guess that puts De'Aaron on Scary Terry.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
We could see Jaime Jaquez.
Now, I will say how you feel about Donovan Mitchell, and who's another. You have Donovan Mitchell, and there's another one of your guys. Oh, and D'Lo. I don't think I have this much disdain for their games. My situation with Jimmy Butler is, I just like things. It's almost Brock Purdy-esque. I just like things that make sense. And Jimmy Butler doesn't really make sense to me. You can't really shoot the 3 ball in this day and age. You're just like that annoying guard that's a little bit bigger than other guards that backs dudes down, and you just find a way to win. I don't have a problem with Jimmy. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And when he plays basketball, I'm just thinking, whenever we try to do the rankings, I always think he's ranked too high.
He's impossible. He's impossible to rank, because, I mean, it's incredibly frustrating for him to, I don't want to say play like he does during the regular season, not to say he sells it during the regular season, but he clearly elevates his game in the postseason, which, whatever. Or, like, that's arguably what you're supposed to do. Those are the games that matter the most. But you're right. In terms of ranking him or trying to just figure him out, it's like, I can't tell if which tier of player you belong in, and just what exactly is your dominant skill besides just tenacity and strength and muscle, which is fine. It's just, to your point, it's not really how things are done anymore.
No. And look, there is a guy in Jimmy Butler who he's gotten to the promised land a couple times. Yeah. He didn't want to hold the Eastern Conference trophy, and then they lost. And I don't think it's a bid. I think he's legit. I think he's an authentic person. I don't know if can be your guy.
Big country music fan too.
He makes his own coffee.
Yeah, he's got the Michelob's commercials.
Yeah, he's all over the place. I don't believe in that, and nobody does. That's why they sneak up on people every season.
Right.
From a big picture, I just don't believe in that Heat team. I just think you need somebody else. I guess.
Do you believe in Heat culture?
I do.
Yeah.
I guess to me, what if somebody could say that? Oh, and I'll look up Jimmy's actual 3-point percentage. Not to say it's all based on that.
It's not great.
But I don't think that it's more realistic. Who's it more realistic to, getting back to Becky Hammond and talking about size? Size matters,
Right.
Pause. If you are Becky Hammond and the way you're talking about Jalen Brunson, okay, who do you think it's more realistic to win a championship with? Jalen Brunson or Jimmy Butler?
Mm-hmm. I think Jimmy Butler.
I disagree.
I just think, he's a two-way player, and I think he's offensively, again, he shows moments of being a star.
He's limited when it matters, though.
How so?
Ultimately, you can find a way to slow Jimmy down. You can find a way to slow anybody down.
Sure, but I think the thing that makes Jimmy so great is that he's the guy. He's like a coach's dream. He's the dude who,
I agree, though.
If he's not hitting shots, he'll do literally he'll be the first one diving on the floor for a loose ball. He'll be the first one to just completely say you're not stopping anybody. Jimmy Butler will stop somebody's best player, even if it's for 5 minutes. That dude will give you whatever you need in any given moment.
You could argue that. Well, here's the thing.
He's like the modern day Scottie Pippen.
He may have hit his ceiling, but he's already exceeded what his ceiling was supposed to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
But as far as a championship, I'm talking 1A.
I hear you there. Yeah,
so we could say neither of them.
Yes,
because then I would ask the question, Jimmy Butler as your 1A, and you're going to make me do it, De'Aaron Fox.
No, I think they're really similar. I think De'Aaron's I would love that career path for De'Aaron, where he's just known as that dog and known as like the guy who, he's good. He's borderline great in the regular season, but in the postseason, I could see De'Aaron being the type of dude to say, hey, this is when we saw him pretty much sleepwalk through yesterday and score 23 points. It wouldn't surprise me if De'Aaron for his career, the rest of his career is somewhere near 24 to 26 points. But come postseason, we saw it last year, 30-point per game scorer pretty much every single game in that Warrior series until he hurt his finger. I could definitely see De'Aaron being the type of dude who just elevates his game in the postseason and being that more like Jimmy Butler, just a dog and a dude who, in any moment could give you exactly what you want.
Jimmy Butler is essentially the Madison Bumgarner of the NBA.
Yes. Yeah. I think that works. I definitely think that works.
He's around, but then when it's time to go, it's go time. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, what happened in Memphis? Who ate the bucket of popcorn? Turnovers. You get a turnover. It was a fresh bakery in Memphis last night, but they get the W. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The 49ers earned the NFC's top seed.
On the first play of the game, CMC Dynamite!
Join all of our shows. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles, and Watkins. And the Drive Guys as they follow their quest for a 6th Super Bowl title.
Pressured right away by Young and sacked by Eric Armstead.
Sactown Sports is your home for San Francisco 49ers football.
San Francisco!
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Tuesday gets out the door to a partly cloudy start and a cool morning. As we head through the afternoon, we'll see those partly cloudy skies around with light winds. Highs today peak in the upper 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The recent storm has caused dangerous driving conditions for us. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down. Be alert and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's BABBEL.com.
I lock up my Old Spice Fiji aluminum-free dry spray to keep that 24/7 lasting freshness safe for myself. Fresh coconuts, palm trees in the wind. It's like catching waves in Fiji. Actually, I just talked myself into a refreshing spritz of Fiji. My Old Spice is missing! No!
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
The world has changed a lot these last few years. You can do pretty much anything from your home, including order your new Honda from Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Check out our great selection at StocktonHonda.com or come in today and get pre-approved all in the blink of an eye. Stockton Honda makes buying a car simple and stress-free.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Time to get your tickets for the Sacramento Sports Hall of Fame celebration, February 4th at Thunder Valley. Inductees include Matt Barnes. Go to Ticketmaster.com.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
Got a little note here. Shared it with my friend group. They are golfers, and I want to get your take on this, Chris. So here it is. You can only pick 2. This is out of 5.
Okay.
And Nate, you don't golf, right?
Nate used
Not
to,
anymore.
right? Yeah.
Okay, well, Nate, you can be a part of this too. Any golfers, this is floating around the different golf platforms, right? We might golf in Vegas. I was thinking to bring this to you.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
You get two carry-ons.
Really?
If we're flying, we are flying Southwest.
I believe so. We might sneak around. Here we go. You can only pick 2 out of 5. Play Augusta 1 time.
Okay.
Free golf at your local club for a lifetime.
Okay.
1 free golf holiday a year.
Okay.
Play golf for the rest of your life like a scratch golfer.
Ooh.
Or number 5, play around with Tiger Woods.
Oh, wow.
Here you go again. Play Augusta 1 time. Number 2, free golf at your local club for a lifetime.
I'm definitely doing that one.
Number 3,
Cheap.
1 free golf holiday a year. Number 4, play golf for the rest of your life like a scratch golfer. Number 5, play around with Tiger Woods.
I think the scratch golfer one would be ideal, but the problem is it sounds like you can't ever get better, which is the whole point of golf. Like if you just play like a scratch golfer the rest of your life.
Who am I trying to impress?
Also that, right. I guess that'd probably be better if I was like a salesperson or something and be like, wow, this guy can really drive off the tee. I'm going to listen to what he's got to say about these prices. I don't know how sales works.
Clearly, what I would do. It's very obvious.
Allen would clout chase with Tiger.
That's correct.
And he would, would you clout chase for Augusta? I'm pretty sure Augusta doesn't allow phones in, so I don't know if you would pick Augusta.
No, I'm going free golf at your local club. I'm going 2
I think
and
that's
5.
like clearly 1 for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go scratch golfer just because of like the networking. If
Yeah.
they're like, oh,
because you're a stud.
Nate's a scratch golf. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I'll play.
You
yeah.
get a lot of respect.
This guy,
You
yeah.
do.
Oh, this guy's good. We should give him a job.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it, actually, at first I told my friends 2 and 5. They responded, and a lot of them, it was either 2 and 5 or 2 and 4.
Yeah.
But now that you mention it, Nate, that way, if you go 4 and 5 and you're a scratch golfer with Tiger Woods, you're cooking.
Yeah.
Because Tiger's going to put you on somewhere. I'm 4 and 5 now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's super interesting. Yeah,
Just-
you're parlaying your picks there.
That's
also,
right.
these people respect your golf game. Like, where will that lead you to? Like, if they're like, oh yeah, no, this guy will help you out. He
It could
knows
take
what
you
he's
pretty
doing.
far.
Yeah.
If you play, because playing scratch golf at Augusta is probably expected.
Well, it's also like that's tough. Like scratch golf at Augusta would be great, but just going to Augusta, like I'd assume it would be a nightmare for an everyday average or below average golfer.
Yeah,
Like, that would
no.
take you 150 strokes probably. So
I'm good.
I'm good off that. I don't know. Playing with Tiger would be tough. Did you see that video that circulated like a month ago of him
when he hit from
driving
his
off
knees?
his
Yeah.
knees? If he were to do something like that, I would consider clubbing him with the club. So I don't know if I can golf with Tiger if he's just going to make me feel worse about my golf game. after.
Over under the amount of selfies I would take with Tiger.
Oh, it'd just be a
With
live
his
stream the whole
knowledge?
time. While Chris is getting a felony for hitting him with a deadly weapon. And Alan's like, whoa, what's up, guys?
Yeah.
I'm here. Tiger's bleeding, and you're like,
Live
Tiger,
from Augusta.
Live from Augusta. We
Tiger,
got
you need
Tiger.
a napkin, dude?
Yeah, live from Augusta. We got Tiger. There you go. All right, so I've gone
How
from
tall are you, Tiger?
I'll definitely need the lifts in. We will go. I went from 2 and
Gotta
5.
play on his knees. The
Yes.
whole game.
Okay. That's too much.
Oh, man.
To 4 and 5, as we wish that was the turnover count for the Kings, but it was much higher than that. The Kings finished with 19 turnovers, and oddly enough, it was really bad in the first half. The first half,
12,
and the Grizzlies, I think, only had 7 maybe. So the Grizzlies finished with 14 turnovers. The Kings finished with 19, and it was just bizarre. It was just bizarre. I don't know what's going on with Malik Monk.
That's weird.
That fast break was terrible. It was terrible.
Yeah.
But you have a theory on Malik Monk.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't quite work for how long he's been slumping right now. I'll try and pull up exactly how long Malik has been in a slump, but I think yesterday was a bit of what we saw when Charlotte came to town. What was that, like a month and a half ago, when Malik had one of his worst games that we've seen as a King. And I think it has a little bit to do with, I mean, Malik already plays with energy that's like at a 10, maybe a 9.5. And so yesterday, Kyle Draper on the broadcast said Malik had 20 friends and family in town in Memphis. And some tells me that kind of turned Malik up to like a 10.5. And I think, he just kind of played a little bit too outside of himself. He got a really bad turnover. I think it was in the second quarter. He tried to pass it to De'Aaron, but he passed it through the defender's leg.
Oh, yeah, I saw
and
that.
De'Aaron
Yeah.
didn't cut, and it just went out of bounds.
It just went out of bounds.
And it's like, just like, play simple, man. Like, you're playing the Grizzlies, who, again, are playing half their team as G Leaguers. Keep it simple.
Just
There's
keep it simple.
no need to go between the legs or behind the back. I think Sabonis had a turnover or an almost turnover where he tried to throw it behind the back in transition. So I think yesterday was just a bit of Malik just trying to do too much and maybe show out for his friends and family in the crowd, who he knew he was going against G Leaguer. So he was probably like, I get to really show my bag here. So
he showed something.
He definitely showed a whole lot of
He definitely
something.
showed something. I mean, it's surprising to me, even just looking at the box score, that I thought Malik had way more turnovers than he actually had. But, you still find a way to get it done. I'm looking here just at the box score. Yeah, Malik had 3 turnovers. And that's a lot. That's a decent bit. But Keegan Murray had 4.
And that's Keegan Murray,
4 turnovers.
Not dribbling the ball like crazy.
How?
I don't know.
How?
I legitimately don't know. You're going to have to answer that one for me, because I don't know how Keegan ends up. I don't even know how it's possible for Keegan to end up with 4 turnovers.
It was just a bizarre game, but the Kings get it done. By the way, shout out to another Zont King, our own or not our own, Memphis's own Jacob Gilliard,
Dude,
5'8" wonder. That was me. If anybody wondered what Alan Stiles looked like before the Achilles, that was your boy. That was your Bizzle right there.
He was out there when Davion was out there, and I was like, oh my God, so much smaller than Davion. Mike Brown was like, Davion,
if it's ever going to happen for you, Davion, today
I want you to post that man up. Okay.
You got Earl Boykins out here, Davion. If you don't get it done now, this is the last stand for you, my guy. And yeah, I mean, Kevin Huerter again, very solid night, a +11 on the night. I gotta say, Trey Lyles, I gotta issue an apology to Trey Lyles. I want to do that here on these airwaves. About 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago or so, I sat here with the best intentions. And I think it might have been during a Kings roundtable. And I said, Trey Lyles has no bag.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Trey Lyles. It's not that I wasn't familiar with your game. I thought I was familiar with your game, but apparently I wasn't familiar enough. Trey Lyles, you do have a bag. You do have a bag. It's not the biggest bag in the world, but he's been getting to the cup more.
Yeah.
All I saw him do this whole year was spot up shoot.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden, I don't know if Harrison Barnes getting jiggy has made him feel like, okay,
said, this is what we're doing?
Yeah, I gotta up my game too. But Trey Lyles, and he had some turnovers too, but they all didn't. Trey Lyles, you've been doing it, brother. 10 points, 10 points. I asked you, I said, how many field goals did Trey Lyles have that aren't 3-pointers, right?
Yeah,
and it's not a ton.
It wasn't a lot.
It's not a ton, especially in the flow of the offense and where he fits on the hierarchy of the offensive priority. But that behind the back that he pump faked and with the up and under, I said, okay, that's my bad, Trey. I'm paying attention now. I'm up on game. I had to say that.
Yes. No. We at the Trey Bay Coalition appreciate your apology, and we're gonna take it into consideration, but we definitely appreciate it. So I mean, Trey's been solid. I think it's been I would say he's performed about as well as as he, I don't want to say as he could, but he hasn't exceeded expectations. He's probably met expectations to this point, and it's fine. I think there's a lot of Kings so far who've met below expectations. So, I think we're getting what we kind of expected to see out of Trey, but it still feels like there's the Kings need one more person to really consistently be involved, whether it's Malik or somebody, but it feels like they're just kind of missing that one extra pop to get them over the hump and kind of be more considered in that next tier of teams. And I think it could be Trey, but it just kind of feels like his touches are his touches at this point. So
yeah, and look, if they continue to move the way they're moving, even though last night didn't look great, I mean, I think Trey, as long as he's there when you need him, and that's really what he's been. He has been that every team needs a stopper, right, or a Band-Aid. And when things are starting, he's always going to be open, no disrespect, just based on who else is on the floor. So there's always Trey in the corner or Trey on the wing. And if he continues to get to those 2 threes, just 2 threes a game.
Yep.
And based on when you make them, those 2 threes a game can really
hit one in
just
the clutch yesterday.
He hit one in the clutch, and that's what he does. So those 2 threes a game, he was 2 for 5 last night. Those 2 threes a game will continue to keep him in the mix, and everybody show his worth. One thing we want to get to when we get back, and I know that I'm just going to give you the floor here, and I saw a lot of people talking about it. Don't understand the Alex Len removal. A lot of JaVale McGee. He actually didn't have a turnover, 3 fouls. But JaVale McGee, I don't know if it was – Jaren Jackson isn't a super leaper per se, so I'm not really sure why it was a JaVale thing. And we've seen Alex Len block shots.
Yes.
Like, JaVale's athleticism doesn't show up to me as far as the difference between him and Alex Len. There are, a couple lobs in there always. But besides that, is that worth the JaVale experience? And you can play them both. But why Alex Len can't get in the game these days? And I honestly forgot Chris Duarte was on the team. Gotta go to a break. When we get back, talking about the big man rotation. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers, the Kansas City Chiefs. It's Super Bowl 58, live from Las Vegas, Sunday, February 11th on Sactown Sports.
The team's looking good this season. I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text JUDGE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone-boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text JUDGE to 42424. That's JUDGE to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
At Elk Grove Kia, we get it. Life happens. We believe in second chances. Have repos, late payments, or faced bankruptcy? No problem. Our finance department is top-notch and ready to make miracles happen. No need to worry about money down. At Elk Grove Kia, you can drive away today with $0 out of pocket. Visit us at Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovekia.com. Your second chance to drive the car of your dreams is just a visit away. Elk Grove Kia, where we turn obstacles into opportunities. Dare to drive differently.
Elk Grove Kia.
If you think getting hurt in an accident is bad, wait until you deal with the aftermath. Even what seems like a small accident can have devastating consequences to your health, employment, finances, and family. All this can be avoided by getting the right help and calling the Scranton Law Firm. Since 1973, we've collected $500 million for our clients and helped thousands of people just like you. Call us at 1-800-707-0707 or ScrantonLawFirm.com.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kip Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kip Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
From the 916. And by the way, August and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. From the Folsom Lake Honda text line, the 916 says, Len is probably the best backup center in the league.
Okay.
I do not get it. He's one of the fastest players on the team for such a big guy.
Let's name backup centers. Do we even know any?
Nas
Who does he
Reed.
play for? Nas Reed. Did we even count
Miles
Nas
Plumlee.
Reed?
Yeah. Plumlee is pretty good.
I don't have a mental list ready of backup centers.
Who's the backup in LA? Lakers.
Yeah, they don't really play
Nurkic
another.
is
Jackson
starting.
Hayes, I guess. Paul Reed's decent. I like Isaiah Hartenstein on the Knicks more than Alex.
Is Bobby Portis? He's not a.
He's their backup big. Like I guess you can consider him their backup center. They don't really play any other guy who would be considered that. Alex is a really good backup center. Absolutely. If we want to do it without the hyperbole, like the point still stands that Alex is what you can realistically expect from a backup center. Like he's not incredible. I don't think the Kings would be able to survive 10 games without Sabonis because they have Alex Len ready to step into the starting lineup. But in terms of the minutes he provides, you're not going to hear me say anything bad really about Alex Len. I think when we see him play, he always uses his size really well. You are right in saying he is really, really mobile for being as big as he is, because people forget really quickly. Alex Len was a top 5 draft pick. Like he was an athlete in college, and people saw his size and mobility and said, there could definitely be something there. And you still see that even today. He's huge, but he can really move. And I think he's strong. I think he can really, I think JaVale, he really, to your point earlier, shows his athleticism with his lobs, but he's definitely lost about half an inch on his vertical, and he doesn't really protect the rim the same. And I think Alex is just a better big body.
Here you go. I got a backup center for you with the Bulls starting Vucevic, obviously. Right. Andre Drummond is their backup
he's been
center.
Cooking.
Yeah, so Andre Drummond is he's probably the best backup center. Yeah, for sure.
Ask Golden State people about Chase Jackson Davis, and they'll tell you he's the best backup.
What's your problem? Okay, so my thing, my guy is my annoyance is with Brandon Pajemski.
Sure.
Your annoyance isn't actually with Trace Jackson Davis.
No, I actually love Trace Jackson Davis.
It's about how fans are pumping him up too much.
Yes, exactly. Well, and it's league messed around and let the Warriors get a 6-second
Warriors
pick.
fans.
No, it is
the league.
No, Warriors fans say, the league messed up and let the Warriors get this great second-round pick, and it's like, well, this dude literally manipulated the draft so that no one would take him, so you could get him in the second round.
How did he manipulate
the same way Austin Reeves did? Your agent tells them, hey, we want him to play in LA. We'd prefer if you didn't take him. And so, yeah, and especially in the second round, people are going to be like, okay, I'll just take some other second-round
pick. Whoever it is. That is one thing I'll miss as the Warriors dynasty comes to a close. I will miss every draft pick after the draft because they didn't really have, first rounders or whatever. Right. And even when they did with Moody and Kuminga, I did miss every draft pick that the Warriors made just because they hit on 3 guys, right? And Bob Myers didn't even draft 2 of them. I did miss every draft pick being what you just said. Mm-hmm. How did the Warriors pull this off? Yep. I remember that. Most specifically with Jordan Bell.
Yes.
Jordan Bell out of Oregon. Yeah. It was, now they have a lob threat?
Yeah, it was
over.
This
is ridiculous. It was over. And Jordan Bell, did you hear about that?
Threat, but that
did you hear about the story out a couple years ago?
He was in the G League the other day,
when he ordered a bunch of stuff. I believe it actually was to Mike Brown's hotel. He ordered a bunch of food and
did hear about
stuff
that,
to Mike Brown's hotel room.
Yes,
and I don't know if he got suspended for it, but he got in trouble for that. And he was just kind of
I think he was joking, right? It was like as a prank.
Yeah, it was as a prank.
Yeah,
and
sick
I don't
prank,
think
dude.
it went over very well. And now he's out of a job. So
Yeah.
Jordan Bell going
Here's
to
a big
take
one.
over. When you bring up Alex Len, though, that's a good reminder of these drafts being a gamble. And would you say, was it a bad pick, Alex Len, whenever it was? Yes. Every guy is not going to be a dude, right? So we go back and forth with Davion Mitchell, and he was number 9. We did this exercise, all these guys that get drafted, and they just disappear. But with who Alex Len is now, I don't understand why he's not getting any run. You get about 2 lobs a game with JaVale, so that's 4 points. Yeah. I've seen Alex Len catch a lob, and I've seen Alex Len do a lot less damage with the basketball when he is in the game. I really don't understand why Alex Len isn't getting on the floor. The Chris Duarte stuff, some of these guys makes more sense. I don't get the Alex Len can't get on the floor thing.
Yeah, I don't get it either. And maybe it is as simple as, hey, Mike Brown was on the staff that won a championship with JaVale McGee as center, and he just has that. I mean, we've seen Mike Brown be very, hard-headed in his ways, and especially when it comes to the rotation, he likes things the way they are, and it's going to have to take something drastic. Exactly.
Until he does it. Davion just appeared one day.
He sure did, and he's still here, and I don't know how much longer it's going to last, and I don't know if we'll see Keon Ellis again either. But yeah, so I think he just really likes JaVale. You saw it with JTA as well. Like, he just was like, hey, Kessler Edwards, I know you liked your 13 seconds a game, but it's going to JTA now.
Yeah,
and so I think he just kind of does play favorites, and I think he just likes what JaVale gives. The funny thing is, this is except he played even less last year, but this is pretty much exactly what happened to Alex Len last year, where they tried everybody at backups. So they tried Chimezie Metu, they tried Rashawn Holmes, they tried Neemias Queta, then they went back to Rashawn Holmes, then they went back to Chimezie Metu, and they eventually stumbled into Alex Len the last 5 games of the season, and then he ended up playing a couple playoff games before riding the pine for pretty much the game 4 through 7. Maybe it's the same plan as last year. It could be.
Is he a secret weapon?
Maybe. Like, I don't think I would classify it as secret. That sounds a little too good for what Alex is probably going to provide. But I think he's just kind of a break in case of emergency, where you know what he's going to give. But maybe Mike Brown is just hoping that JaVale can give a little more. But I've seen enough. And to me, you hit the nail on the head there. I definitely think the thing that makes the decision super easy for JaVale versus Alex is the amount of just head-scratching things that JaVale does out there. I mean, you can definitely see how this man has spent his career on Shaqtin' a Fool, because there's so many moments where it's just like, where did that even come from? Like, why did you decide you got the rebound, you took a dribble, lost your dribble, and then just pass it to the other team, or, balls flying to the third row, just weird decisions. Yesterday, not that it was a Shaqtin' moment, but you saw him get absolutely abused by Jaren Jackson going behind his back and then dunking the lane. Like, I've seen enough of JaVale. I'm good.
Well, you're probably
going to get a whole lot more.
Going to continue to see more.
Man.
Bam Adebayo tomorrow night. And
sounds
look,
like JaVale
that
matchup.
whole team, I'm not really high on Bam either. I'm not high on Bam. I'm not high on Jimmy. But they're probably going to ball out tomorrow, and they're going to be hungry. They are on a 7-game losing streak, and I really want to see Bam versus Domas because I know our guy Kyle Draper loves to talk about how Domas. I think Kyle is. Don't want to misquote him. I said Domas is the strongest center in the league, if not one of. Well, if he ain't the strongest in the league, Bam is because of Bam Adebayo, and obviously Giannis is a hybrid, whatever you want to call him. But I really want to see that battle between Bam and Sabonis. Similar yet different games.
Yeah, really similar. Yeah, I would say so. And really similar criticism too. You walk around in the right, or I guess wrong, Heat circles. There's a lot of fraudulent talk about Bam Adebayo and how, there's a lot of games where the Heat are in a 7-game losing streak right now. Why is Bam Adebayo not having great performance? Domantas Sabonis is an all-NBA player. If Domantas Sabonis has 3 straight bad games, people are going to be on his back. I mean, we saw Kevin O'Connor saying the Kings are broken and talking about how Sabonis is really the face for what's wrong with the Kings and all this stuff. And you don't really hear a lot about that nationally from Bam Adebayo, but in Heat circles, they'll say he's got a little bit of softness to him, a little bit of too passive, a little overrated as a defender. And I think it'll be interesting to see Sabonis, who probably is well aware that Bam is in that similar tier or similar grouping. I can see Sabonis saying, let me show y'all exactly how fraudulent I am, but actually how fraudulent this guy is.
Yeah, and I think would be a great question for Kevin O'Connor or any Sabonis hater. Are the Kings better with Bam Adebayo than Sabonis? I think the answer is no.
It's been brought up because, they got the Kentucky duo right now. The final Infinity Stone is Bam Adebayo. That is literally that Kentucky team. De'Aaron and Bam, I would argue De'Aaron and Bam are closer than De'Aaron and Malik are. So there's real relationship there. And that'll be interesting too, just to see how De'Aaron approaches that game. If he gives that game a little extra spice.
Wow, look at the deep dive. Chris Watkins.
I know he was at the wedding.
Wow. Chris Watkins. Yeah. I mean, now I'm pretty hyped for this game. Now they can't lay an egg.
No, they can't. No, they can't.
You got Sabonis with a chip on his shoulder. De'Aaron's bestie on the other side. Got to make it
real
happen.
bestie.
His real bestie.
Maybe Malik will say, I'm his real bestie.
This is a battle of the besties. Battle of the besties. There you go.
Just going at
Just
Bam
going
or
at
Bam.
it. Yeah, Bam. Sorry, Bam. The besties and Bam. Got to get to a break. When we get back, Chris Beerman joins us. He is on location, I believe you said, Nate. So he would be in Miami. He is in Miami. We will ask him about overpriced beverages and the Kings trying to make it 5 in a row in Miami tomorrow night. And Niners Talk. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Harrison Barnes plays here.
Harrison Barnes drives it, hammers it. The Black Falcon soaring into the night sky on a Monday evening in Northern California.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Getting your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt can lead to some spirited reactions.
Jackson Hewitt!
Jackson Hewitt is so sure that you'll get your biggest refund that if they don't, you get your money back plus $100.
Jackson Hewitt!
And Jackson Hewitt also guarantees the accuracy of your return for life. So don't just sit there. For your biggest refund guaranteed, walk into a Jackson Hewitt today and dance out Jackson Hewitt!
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The NFC champion San Francisco 49ers will get their chance at revenge when they face the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 58.
Jimmy going to throw a deep shot into double coverage. It's intercepted by Fuller, and that will be it. The Kansas City Chiefs will win their first Super Bowl.
Reed versus Shanahan. Purdy versus Mahomes. The Chiefs versus the 49ers. It's Super Bowl 58, Sunday, February 11th.
And it's on your home for the National Football League, Sactown Sports.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo, with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. Plus line dancing, a mechanical bull, and Sacramento's best food trucks. One-day tickets are on sale now, starting at $46, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more info, visit CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by Hobble Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Plati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland, and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He
He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
It's no secret to golf enthusiasts that Timber Creek and Sierra Pines in Roseville are one of the region's most unique and scenic places to enjoy a great game of golf. 27 holes, boundless options. Elevate your game on our newly renovated driving range, putting green, and chipping area. Whether you're aiming for fun, lower scores, or all-around growth, we've got you covered. Experience golfing dreams in Roseville and book your tee time at timbercreekgc.com. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, your ultimate golf haven.
Get a great deal on your new Silverado at the Maida Chevy Silverado Superstore. Great selection, great factory financing and incentive, and great Maida Chevy savings on every new Silverado in stock. Online at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Time to get your tickets for the Sacramento Sports Hall of Fame celebration, February 4th at Thunder Valley. Inductees include Matt Barnes. Go to Ticketmaster.com.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Live Nation has teamed up with Sactown Sports to hook you up with tickets to check out comedy legend Eddie Griffin live at Hard Rock, Sacramento, April 13th. Hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline at 1 p.m. We will give you those two numbers for two callers and two pairs of tickets. For more information, visit sacktownsports.com. We are joined by our guy, Chris Beerman, Sacramento Bee and Candlestick Chronicles. Chris, how you doing? We just got word, Chris, get your reaction. We just got word, two things. You can choose your path. Warriors have been fielding trade offers for Andrew Wiggins on a potential player-for-player swap. There appears to be enough interest in Wiggins where Golden State won't have to attach draft assets. Or the second way we can go with this is that it is official, I believe, from Adam Schefter 20 minutes ago, Ben Johnson staying in Detroit. The flow is yours. Thank you for joining us.
Oh man, here I was thinking we were going to talk Kings Grizz. I guess we can start. I guess we can start with Ben Johnson. Yeah, I think it was pretty surprising, and you're seeing. I don't know if it's conflicting reports, but you Adam Schefter tweeted out that he might not be the head coaching candidate that many have assumed. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but he's also said that the asking price might be a little high, which is interesting. We don't know, coaches' salaries are not made public, but my guess is that some of the best coaches in the league are making $15 to $20 million a year now. And I'm wondering, did Ben Johnson come in hot and say, I want 17? Despite not having any head coaching experience. So, we'll see how that plays out. I think it's obviously huge news for the Lions because I think that was one of the biggest questions facing them this offseason was, as good as their offense was, would it look the same if Ben Johnson took a head coaching job elsewhere? And now it looks like he's coming back. So they get to run it back. They have a ton of talented players. They have a really good offensive line, and obviously they have a good scheme. So they're going to be set offensively at least. And if they can improve the defense, I would expect them to be a formidable team in the NFC as long as that group's still together.
Chris, a lot was made on Sunday about Dan Campbell's or Dan Gamble, if you will, his everything that all of his decisions the other day, including Ben Johnson running the ball in that 3rd and goal. But all that to say, what have you thought about Kyle Shanahan and his play calling and his specifically his game management so far through 2 games?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think zooming out from taking a macro look at Kyle Shanahan, he's not known for being super aggressive, right? He's the guy who would much rather play for a field goal at the end of a half than risk going for a touchdown and the other team getting the ball back with a chance to score. But I think you see, as maddening as that can be sometimes for 49ers fans, I think you see the other side of it and why that might work. And the case being Dan Campbell deciding to be ultra aggressive in those fourth down scenarios. And I know there's a lot of discussion about, whether or not Dan Campbell made the right decisions or not. I mean, really, those are toss-up decisions. Those are toss-up calls. And, I know the analytics people view it in a way that, he absolutely made the right call. There's no second guessing. It was absolutely the right call. I mean, they lost, and a big factor in the Lions losing. I'm not saying the only factor in the Lions losing were those decisions to go for it on fourth down and be aggressive there. But it was absolutely a factor. And you heard the 49ers say, when Josh Reynolds dropped the first fourth down conversion, that was a huge turning point in the game. And it absolutely was. And those are the things you risk when you risk going for it. In comparing that to Kyle Shanahan and his less aggressive approach, there are multiple ways to skin a cat. There isn't one way to do it, and that's just Kyle Shanahan's style. He's going to be deliberate. He's going to limit the possession game. He's going to know that his offense is going to be more than likely more efficient than the other team's offenses. So if you limit their possessions and you try to maximize yours, then that's part of his formula for winning games. So it's worked so far. It hasn't always worked in the past, and you can think back to the last Super Bowl the 49ers had here in Miami at the end of the first half. Kyle Shanahan's conservative play calling might have bit him there, even though it seemed like had George Kittle, you remember that offensive pass interference that they called on him, had that not been called, the 49ers would have had, I think, one timeout in 15 seconds within I think the 15-yard line or something like that. But it's one of those things. People love to talk about it. I think there are just multiple ways to approach it, not just hard lining it one way or another.
Talking to Chris Beerman, Candlestick Chronicles, and the Sacramento Bee on the road trip with the Kings. One more Niners question before we get to Kings. Chris, it's early, and we're going to talk to you next week as well. But it's being asked to Niner fans how confident they are in this game against the Chiefs. 10 being the highest, scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. And it's early now, but Omenihu goes out for the Chiefs, and the Niners are very, very healthy. What number would you say your confidence level is at for the Niners going into this game? Initially, we'll ask you again next week, but initially.
I'm so bad at answering these questions because my answers generally are just not that compelling. Like, I'm somewhere between a 4 and a 6.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
not. I feel that the Niners are obviously a really good team. They're a really balanced team. They're more balanced than the Chiefs, in my opinion. But I think the Chiefs defense has been better, and Patrick Mahomes obviously gives the Chiefs the edge at quarterback. So if you believe that the Chiefs have the better quarterback and the better defense, which I do right now based on the way the 49ers defense has played the last few weeks in the playoffs, then I think it's hard to feel super confident in what the 49ers can bring. Now, that being said, I think the 49ers defense should play better than it has and is a better defense than it's been, particularly against the run. And I think they have an extra week now to figure some of that stuff out, to clean it up. And if they can slow the run against the Chiefs, then that makes them a little bit more one-dimensional. And obviously, when that dimension is Patrick Mahomes, that's still an immensely tough challenge, probably the biggest challenge a team can have in the Super Bowl. And so that's no small thing, obviously. But I think the 49ers offense is better than the last time they faced the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I think Brock Purdy is an upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo. Christian McCaffrey is obviously an upgrade over Raheem Mostert. And I think Brandon Ayuk is a better receiver than Emmanuel Sanders. And you have Deebo Samuel, who's no longer a rookie. He's an established all-pro type player in the league. And you have Trent Williams, who's an upgrade over Joe Staley too. So, I think the 49ers are a very different team this time around, but in terms of my confidence level, man, it's tough to, I can look at the regular season and say, yeah, the Chiefs didn't have a great regular season, particularly on the offensive end, and they don't have the playmakers that they had when they had Tyreek Hill and all those other guys in 2019. But at the same time, you can look at the other side of the ball and say, man, this is far and away the best defense the Chiefs have had since Patrick Mahomes has been there. It's Steve Spagnuolo is a really good defensive coordinator. I don't think that should be overlooked at all. But if you're asking me my confidence level and the 49ers winning, like, to me, it feels like a toss-up game right now. So I know that's not compelling radio to, I should say like, oh man, the Niners are going to come out and smash them, or, oh, the Chiefs are going to win by 40. Like I feel like it's going to be a great game, a great matchup. And I'm kind of riding the fence right now, and I apologize for that, but that's just me being honest.
No need at all.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. And, we have time for hype. We still have like a week and a half of this thing.
That's
so
right.
we can get you to that 10 at some point. Moving on to the Kings now. What did you think of yesterday's performance, just in terms of like, that was obviously a Memphis team that was down incredibly bad in terms of injuries, tons of G Leaguers out there and guys who are just getting new opportunities. Was it an effort thing for you yesterday from the Kings side, or was it just simply they were really bad from the perimeter? And if you would say that, how concerning is it that they put up 103 points just because they can't hit from the perimeter?
Like I think you guys know, maybe in the conversations we've had offline about the Kings, that I can be pretty hard on them. But in talking to, I talked to an assistant coach at Shoot Around yesterday about the game and just about the state of the Grizzlies. And, the Grizzlies had won 3 of 4 coming in,
right?
And including wins here in Miami. And they beat another good team. I think maybe it was Toronto, but they beat Miami on the road, despite basically the roster looking very similar to how it was last night. And it's just because they play really hard and they play well defensively. And I thought the Grizzlies played really hard and played really well defensively. And what the assistant coach told me at Shoot Around was like, this is not going to be an easy game. This is going to be a really difficult game because these guys are playing their ass off. And all those dudes, and Mike Brown said it after the game, like a lot of those guys are playing for their NBA careers. Like there's a level of desperation that they have in comparison to the Kings, who are, in the middle of this long road trip and probably not playing with the same level of desperation that some of those Grizzlies guys who are fighting for their futures in the league are. So from that standpoint, like, watching it up close, it wasn't like the Kings were just, getting anything they wanted defensively. I thought the Grizzlies did play really well defensively. Offensively, the Grizzlies were super challenged, right? They were just not, they had no options really. When you have Jaren Jackson handling the ball and being their primary playmaker, that tells you everything you need to know about the state of the Grizzlies roster and all their health issues. But I'm not, like, if you were to tell me a month ago that the Kings or the Grizzlies would be missing 4 of their 5 starters and the Kings would only score 104 points, it would be like super concerning. But it's not all that concerning to me, just given how that, like, the Grizzlies have proven that they can play deep, that they can defend, and they can play really hard. And Memphis is it's just a tough place to play in general. So I'm not all that concerned, to be honest. Like the Kings got the win, which is the most important thing. But it wasn't one of those games where they were just going to go in there and win by 30. I think they, as good as Ja Morant is, the Kings will tell you. I think that the Grizzlies are a much easier team to score against when he's on the court. Just because of what he is defensively. And when the Grizzlies have all their backup guys in like they did last night, they're going to play really hard defensively. And I think that's what we saw.
Yeah, they beat the Grizzlies beat the Magic. That is beat the Magic at home on Friday. So, and basically everybody played for the Magic. So a good win for the Grizzlies. Only difference was that Luke Kennard played against the Magic. Chris Beerman, thank you so much. So Chris, you're in Miami right now?
I'm in Miami
right now.
Man.
Okay, you're in Miami.
Is this your town? Do you know this place?
I was in Miami in 2019 and it was outstanding. I'll get you. I will send you in, what is it? Little Havana. There was a Cuban spot that there's plenty out there, but you find a good Cuban spot out there, Chris, and you'll be all right.
All right. I'll tell him you sent me.
There you go. There you go. Chris
Beerman,
Sacramento Bee and Candlestick Chronicles. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you, Chris.
Appreciate you guys.
All right. Got to get to a break. When we get back, continuing the conversation about the Kings. Andrew Wiggins, you interested? Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Kings look to extend their win streak to 5 in a row.
He scores again. Harrison Barnes is just in fuego.
It's the Kings and the Heat from Miami, Wednesday at 4:30 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with 0 down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com. 0
down with approved credit.
In Mexico. So from Mexico, we just did a huge, no baby at this point in time.
Gonna have to connect some
dots
there.
It was just a monster move. It was just a monster move. So we were just gone for like 2 weeks.
Really?
And we went to a wedding in Mexico, hung out for like a week in Mexico.
Yeah.
And then I think it was cheaper to fly from Mexico from where we were.
Right.
We had never done Miami before.
Yeah.
So we fly from Mexico to Miami.
Sure.
Party in Miami. We're out till.
Are we talking summer?
Summer. This is in the summer. We were out until 4 a.m. It was Lil Boosie's birthday.
Okay.
He performed at about 3 a.m.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, man, I'm kind of washed up here. Yeah, I'm not 30 yet, right? But I'm kind of washed up here, trying to hang with the youngins. You go to the pre-game, right? The pre-club.
Right.
That starts at 12. I'm thinking this is supposed to be the height of everything. That starts at 12. We take, because we buy one of the packages. On the beach, they're all over. Hey, package, you want a package? You want a package? We buy a package, somebody that we think just looks trustworthy.
Sure.
Buy the package. So
we're about to be in Vegas.
Right.
It's commonplace.
I Google it. I'm okay. This looks legit. We go. It starts at 12 a.m. Then we go to the club. That's at, I don't know. What was it? Yeah, Boozy performs at 3 a.m. We get back at 5
and that's when they get
morning.
On. That's when they get on the stage. Yeah.
No, it was his birthday. It wasn't a full concert. No. That's not where we went. I'm not.
Right, of course. Yeah,
I didn't go to see Boozy, but Boozy was there, and he was enjoying himself on his birthday. But there was a Wildin' Out restaurant.
Really?
Yes.
Like the show
Wildin' Out bar restaurant, and we're just walking along the strip.
Okay.
And a drink. It's supposed to be shared. Okay.
Talking like a fishbowl situation?
It wasn't a fishbowl, though.
Okay.
And it was $32. All the drinks were in the 20s and the 30s.
And it was to share, but was it
at least
bigger? Was it shareable size?
It was a twofer. It was not a bowl.
Okay.
So Chris Beerman, be careful out there. Yeah. It's expensive in Miami. I've never, the people want to do, a lot of people want to do bachelor parties and bachelorettes in Miami. And then they look up how expensive, because it's not expensive to fly there.
Of course, yeah.
But it's the opposite of going to some of these other places. Hey, after the flight, it's cheap everywhere. No, you can get there.
Well, I think that's why
they're going to get that money back.
You said in the morning show, like Scottsdale really is more so. I think you said that you went to a wedding, but it feels like Arizona has kind of now turned into it's sunny. It's close enough.
It's close enough.
It's close enough.
It's close enough. So there you go.
A lot cheaper.
Shout out to Chris Beerman as we have a report coming out here. This is from Anthony Slater. The Warriors have been fielding trade offers for Andrew Wiggins in potential player-for-player swaps. There appears to be enough interest. This is from Evan Sittery. There appears to be enough interest in Wiggins where Golden State won't have to attach draft assets.
That's interesting. A player-for-player swap makes it, I mean, it really just shortens the pool down. I mean, no pun intended there with Jordan Poole.
Harrison Barnes, come on down.
I mean, no joke.
I wouldn't do that deal now.
That's the kind of swap that they would have to be looking for, is like, because I don't know. Like, yeah, if you're looking for a player swap, that sounds to me like you're looking for somebody who's contributing now as much as Andrew Wiggins is. And I mean, how many people would just shuffle the deck for the sake of shuffling the deck, essentially, is where I think the Warriors are going to have to try and search for. And I don't know who's really in that
spot. Would the Kings do that? Would they want to do that? You trust that motor?
I don't. I definitely don't trust the motor. I guess you can maybe try and talk yourself into, hey, like, Wiggs in a new situation, maybe there'll be some sort of boost of energy because he's just trying to go out there and prove he's not that guy, but that's still a really big risk. And yeah, to your point, maybe if HB was still the HB of 2 weeks ago, I think everyone would be more than willing, but
that was last week.
I think it's, well, it still stands.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. I'm saying if we were prior 30 balls, I think maybe we would be a lot more receptive to it. But you know, what is at this point, what is Andrew Wiggins going to give you that Harrison Barnes hasn't given you?
I got your stats right here. Okay. Andrew Wiggins, 2023-2024 stats, averaging 12, and we got to do the points right now.
12?
Averaging 12.3 points per game, 4.2 rebounds, 1.6 assists on 43.4% shooting.
Okay.
He is averaging 26.9 minutes a game. Don't forget he got benched.
Yes, right.
Okay.
What's he shooting from three? Just curious.
Shooting from three, do you really?
I mean, it's a big part of it because HB's just standing. He was 2 of 10 yesterday. So if Wiggins is getting 10 threes,
32%.
Oh my gosh, we can't do this deal. I'm looking at
it. Better not be like in the 20s.
He's shooting 31% from three and 69.5% from free throw.
Can't have that.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
So you wouldn't straight trade HB for Wig?
Now let's do HB's numbers.
I don't think so.
So Wiggins averaging 12.3 points per game.
He just needs a new scenery.
HB averaging 11.9 points per game. Wiggins averaging 4.2 rebounds a game. Harrison Barnes averaging 2.9 rebounds per game. Wiggins averaging 1.6 assists per game. Harrison Barnes 1.3 assists per game. Harrison shooting 47.9% from the field. Andrew Wiggins shooting 43.4%.
I've never seen Wiggins in a suit either.
He needs to get in the
and I know that's a big selling point.
HB's heater right here. HB's up to 40.6% from three, and he is shooting 82.7% from free throw, and he's averaging 29.7 minutes to Wiggins' 26.9 minutes. This is as close to a wash as you can get.
Yeah. Like I said, shuffling the deck for the sake of shuffling the deck.
I just feel like the ceiling for
Wiggins is 28.
It's definitely higher, but the question is why would – and this is the question every team's going to have to ask. Why would you believe it's going to work out for your situation?
Wiggins is 28. Harrison Barnes is 31. If Wiggins, I know it sounds funny. If Wiggins was 26, I do this and don't think. 2 years means that much to me. I mean, 28 years old.
What's the contract situation?
That's the other thing, too. I haven't looked at Wiggins is making this season. Let's see. Oh, this is just Kings. I'm on the wrong one here. Wiggins is making 24 this year, 26 the following, 28 after that, upwards of $30 million
absolutely
in 26-27. HB's contract only runs to 25-26, and I think it peaks at like 20.
No.
So you're paying about $10 million per year more, ish around there, for Andrew Wiggins, and you're getting similar production, I guess. Maybe you to Nate's point, possibly like. You look at Wiggins' numbers every year except for this year, and he's a 17-point per game scorer at around 38 to 39% since he joined Golden State. That's a guy that the Kings could use, but I think the problem with Andrew Wiggins is the inconsistency is kind of built into him, and I don't think the Kings need more inconsistency.
It's a no for me, dog. Nate, we got to get that sound from Randy Jackson. It's a no for me, dog. We're not doing
Pretty
it.
recognizable signature.
We're not doing it. But what we are doing is getting back. We got to get to a break. When we get back, continuing the conversation, is Domas now underrated? Maybe. Just maybe. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings road trip continues Wednesday in South Beach.
Herter with a wraparound, and Sabonis rips it down for a 2020 game.
It's the Kings and the Heat.
Wednesday at 4:30 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-385-9302 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-385-9302. That's 800-385-9302. What do you have to lose? Call 800-385-9302. Again, 800-385-9302.
It's time to buck up, Sacramento. The professional bull riders are back. PBR Sacramento Wrangler Long Live Cowboys Classic will take over downtown's Golden One Center this February 2nd through 4th. 3 huge nights of edge-of-your-seat bucking, featuring some of the biggest bulls and toughest cowboys on the planet. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.
Stop by any participating AM/PM location for a 20% off ticket discount code when you buy Monster Energy.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo, with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. Plus line dancing, a mechanical bull, and Sacramento's best food trucks. One-day tickets are on sale now, starting at $46, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more info, visit CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by Hubble Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center.
Carmichael Dave here for my good friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Right now, American Energy offering $0 HVAC diagnostics. That's normally $99 for nothing. Let the American Energy team test your system, connections, and all the moving parts of your system to ensure it's functioning properly. Let me say that again. $0 to get your HVAC diagnostic-ted. That's not even a word. That's normally $100. Making the uncomfortable comfortable. That's what American Energy does. That's what they've done since 1981. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since then. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Call today to schedule your appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Do it before January 31st or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Grab the keys to a new Toyota. Start your year off right with a great lease deal on a new Toyota. Shop a wide selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs from the most reliable brand on the road. Right now, get $1,000 bonus cash when you lease a 2024 Camry. Or when you finance with Toyota, get $1,000 bonus cash on the all-new Grand Highlander gas models. Or $1,500 bonus cash on select 4Runners. Toyota. Let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Excludes hybrids, ends 1/31/24.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
Andrew Wiggins or Harrison Barnes? That is the question. Shout out to the Sack Chat. holding it down as always. And to the texters and callers, going to open up the phone lines. Do you want Andrew Wiggins? He is being shopped around, and it right now sounds like it would be a pure swap. Okay, a pure swap. And we're sitting here comparing Andrew Wiggins to Harrison Barnes. Would you do that pure swap? I mean, Chris, I think is it possible that Kevin Huerter is part of this conversation too? I know you probably don't want to lose that shooting because Andrew Wiggins has been a brick, so shooting 30% from three. But, there are a couple different ways you can think about this. 916-339-1140. All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Call in if you want to be a part of the conversation. And at 1 o'clock, in about an hour and a half, Live Nation has teamed up with Sactown Sports to hook you up with tickets to check out comedy legend Eddie Griffin live at Hard Rock, Sacramento, April 13th. Hit up Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now, looking for, we'll let you know when it happens, what caller. Not right now, sorry, 1 o'clock. To win a pair of tickets, I went Ron Burgundy there as I'm reading this. Don't be careful what you put on this piece of paper. That is at 1 o'clock, not right now, at 1 o'clock. So, Chris, where did you net out on this Andrew Wiggins thing?
No, absolutely no.
Okay.
No.
We're on the same page.
Yeah, absolutely not. There's no reason for it. I mean, I just feel like maybe if the Kings were, again, if HB hadn't had the week that he had, and if the Kings had maybe found themselves a little bit closer to the play-in tournament, maybe there's an argument for it, but it just doesn't feel like that's the right move for this team moving forward. And I'm pretty sure that would lock up more money than they already have allocated.
It's definitely a no for me, dog.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you, Randy.
What an icon. An icon. But yeah, no, I'm good. I think I don't know who the Warriors are gonna eventually find. Maybe I know
who do they want.
That's a great question. Like what is their goal? I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna try and squeeze one last run into this thing. I don't know if they're just gonna lean into the Podziemski Kuminga thing, which seems to me like the better route to go, but that's a phenomenal question. I mean, and if you're looking to swap Andrew Wiggins again, I just don't think there's many guys like you can do Tobias Harris, but I think Philly is running into a lot of similar questions that we have here in Sacramento, except Tobias Harris is expiring, so they're almost getting out of that. I don't think they would want to sign up for 4 more years of a contract unless they feel like they can't get anything else for it. I just can't see it happening. I think that they're probably going to have to attach picks. I mean, that's really the only way I can see them just, if they want to ship off Wiggins, I think you're going to have to probably.
Well, they're saying they won't have to, Anthony Slater.
Though maybe this is where Zach LaVine ends up. Here's one really bad contract for a contract that's also not great, but it's a little bit less. So, and it, kicks the can down for Chicago as well. Maybe that's the move, but I just can't see anybody voluntarily taking Andrew Wiggins on their roster in the year 2024.
Yeah, and from Dwayne Baker on the Sac chat, this is from Dwayne. There's just so many reports out, so why not read one from the Sac chat?
Why not?
And Dwayne, Warriors are talking Wiggins and Paul for DeJounte Murray.
Wiggins and Paul for DeJounte Murray. I don't think that money works out at all. I think Paul makes 30 plus mil. Wiggins, as we established, makes 24.
Right, yeah.
I don't think DeJounte.
Well, unless it's DeJounte and make that money work. Who else would you get?
Clint Capella, probably. Yeah, it would probably be Capella.
So is the end of Looney?
My question would be, what does that do for Atlanta?
I don't know.
You get Paul's expiring, and then again the problem here is Andrew Wiggins, his contract is terrible. But who is going to sign up for that?
That's what's so funny, because after the championship, everybody said they got him at a discount, which at that time they thought that guy.
That was 26-year-old Andrew Wiggins, to your point.
That's right. That guy is worth $24 million a year.
Yeah.
This pumpkin that he turned back into is not.
No, not at all. No, and I mean, it becomes as well. I mean, it's definitely at a cheaper price, but it becomes, well, actually, it's not at a cheaper price. It's actually, cheaper in terms of trading. But I would rather have Kyle Kuzma. I would much rather take Kyle Kuzma for $22 million and then declining.
What about those picks?
I mean, but that's the risk. That's what I'm saying. Wiggins is technically cheaper in terms of you can clearly just swap 1-for-1 with Wiggins. But if I'm taking on that contract, I'm at least going to get a guy that I believe in a little bit more, and it's a reduced price in terms of the actual payments that you're paying him. So, you're going to have to sacrifice some picks, but I would sacrifice a couple picks in the name of just security of thinking you know what you're getting. With Andrew Wiggins, you have absolutely no clue. You have no clue at all. And it could go the other way. Who knows? It's just not a risk I think the Kings or really any team that's in a potential winning situation should take. Like that's a risk. That's a really big risk.
Prior to Andrew Wiggins had an injury, and then he had the issue the situation with his family. Andrew Wiggins was shooting the 3-point ball the best in his career.
Yeah, 39% on 6.8 attempts.
Coming off of a career year in 2022. That guy, the question is, will that guy show up? It's the same question as, will the Kevin Huerter from last season show up?
Right.
And at least Kevin Huerter is already on the team. There's no new chemistry there.
Yeah.
There's no way I do this deal. 916.
How about this? This just came to my mind. Okay. I'm just trying to think. Would you do who says no? Andrew Wiggins for Ben Simmons. Like that's the kind of risk that I think
if I were
they would have to take.
I would do that deal. It's basically their reclamation project part 2.
Mm-hmm.
I used to call the Warriors last chance U of the NBA. You go there, you look good, right? And you ball
Quinn
out.
Cook,
Quinn Cook, okay. Otto Porter Jr. Got a ring, got a bag. Dante DiVincenzo didn't get a ring, but got a bag.
Yeah.
Okay, so next, the newest season of Last Chance U
it's been off
in
Netflix
the Bay Area for the Warriors. Ben
Simmons.
I'd do that deal in a heartbeat.
You got enough name recognition. Kind of maybe fix. Hey, Draymond and Ben Simmons at the.
He needs to be motivated.
Ain't gonna be better motivation than Wardell.
He might be the next Draymond-esque type guy. And if you're the Nets, hey, who wants a wing? We got 18 wings already.
Right.
Like we're fire wings. Let's just have another one. 916-339-1140. Let's get out to Steven, our guy. Steven wants to be part of the conversation. Steven, don't tell me you want Wiggins.
I do.
Come on.
Why not, dude?
For Harrison Barnes, straight up?
There was enough potential there for I still believe there was still enough potential within that man to still have a chance to have a little bit further of a breakout. You know what I'm saying? He already had a nice breakout last year before his issues, before the injury, before the off court stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was already kind of having a slight resurgence. So I feel like I would take that risk, but not giving up Barnes. That's my whole deal. Also, I have a slight trade proposal. Nate, get the dump button ready. Are you guys sure you don't want to trade Steve Kerr for Mike Brown?
Enough. That's what it was. Where's Chris Verlot? That's what it was. Goodbye, Steve. Because that was your fault, Nate. That's what it was.
What was
Chris
my
Verlot
fault?
asked me, he said, hey, Alan, somebody called into our show and said you had put them in timeout. And I couldn't remember what the question was. And now I remember that's what it was. Well, now Steven's back in timeout. You're lucky we got 2 weeks.
So how is any of this my fault?
Because you brought it up. Trading Steve Kerr for Mike Brown.
You ask questions. You're the question asker.
We all ask questions.
So that's my fault for asking a question, I guess. Huh?
We all ask
Should we
questions.
get rid of the beam?
Cut that. Cut that. That was not me.
Not you.
That was not me. Well, here's the thing, Chris. If you're gonna have this conversation,
light the beam. Light it.
If you're gonna have this conversation, what about? Why wouldn't you have the conversation about Harrison Barnes for Ben Simmons?
Because I still think that's a risk. I think that Ben Simmons and Andrew Wiggins are equal level risk. If anything, I mean, I would say Ben Simmons is probably even more of a risk. Yeah. Ben Simmons has been given the opportunity multiple times to be like, brother, here is your reclamation project, and he's like, I don't want to play basketball.
He does.
What are you talking about?
That's been my whole thing with Ben Simmons. I just don't think he likes basketball that much. I think he woke up one day and he was 6'7".
He likes being famous, though.
He likes being famous.
Yeah. Which the Warrior thing would help.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He needs to be motivated.
Yeah, because Ben Simmons coming to Sacramento,
No,
he's gonna have to pull it out the mud if he's gonna win. Like there's motivation is
his knee would immediately hurt. He would trip.
Look like Joel Embiid.
Yeah,
he'd be like, NBA, please come investigate me.
Yeah, I can't be on the court. I mean, I'm breaking rules. I'm doing a whole bunch of things that I shouldn't be doing. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, continuing the conversation on the Kings, getting into some Niners talk as well. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
And a handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
If you think getting hurt in an accident is bad, wait until you deal with the aftermath. Even what seems like a small accident can have devastating consequences to your health, employment, finances, and family. All this can be avoided by getting the right help and calling the Scranton Law Firm. Since 1973, we've collected $500 million for our clients and helped thousands of people just like you. Call us at 1-800-707-0707 or ScrantonLawFirm.com.
Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Plantar fasciitis feels like pointed, sharp pain, very intense. It can make your eyes water. It makes you walk funny because you're trying to get pressure off your heel. I had instability. I was so frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And I was driving past the Good Feet store. I mean, why not? Give it a try.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure they fitted me with the right thing. And so they brought out several different arch supports and gave me the opportunity to try them in shoes and walk around with them until they found the perfect ones for my feet. I had no idea that they would be that patient, and I had no idea they would be that kind. And you just knew, like, your feet, just when they got on the right ones, they were like, oh yeah. And it really did make a big difference. It made my foot not hurt. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Get a great deal on your new Silverado at the Maida Chevy Silverado Superstore. Great selection, great factory financing and incentive, and great Maida Chevy savings on every new Silverado in stock. Online at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's
that's the works. Like, let's see how you do.
Yes.
Bread and butter for sure.
That's a great call. Okay, Gordon Ramsay. Hey, how do you make an omelet?
Right. I was trying to
we
be
are obsessed with Gordon Ramsay. Right
Well, we're going. We still. Oh, I'm not going to say it over the air because I don't want anybody to take our spots.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. It's not a lock, but I hope it's a lock. So you go Buffalo. Buffalo's your number one.
Generally, yeah.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm usually going buffalo lemon pepper for the same reason as Nate. I feel like those are like the two, like the omelets, if you will. If you can't do a good lemon pepper wing or a good, just like buffalo hot, then you probably shouldn't be like that. That tells me about the quality of all your wings.
Lemon pepper is always a dry rub, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
well,
that's just.
I don't think always.
Sometimes they
but,
put it like a little bit of butter to make a sauce.
Right.
Yeah.
But then I always go extra crispy. So back my wife's hometown, shout out Mannheim. It's a little spot called the Cat's Meow, and they have the best wings I've ever had.
Okay.
You go extra crispy, but then and you can mix. So I do buffalo and garlic.
Sure, right.
Buffalo garlic, extra crispy, best wing I've ever had.
That sounds good.
I hear legends of the lemon pepper wet in Atlanta, and
yes,
I gotta get some of that.
We got to get some of that.
My favorite, if we're just going Oakland, place called Cato's. There was like a Korean barbecue wing.
Ooh.
Very good.
Solid.
Yes.
Very good with like the sesame seeds on it.
Well, they did wings at the Niner game for halftime.
Did they really?
Ooh.
Yes.
That would have been a problem.
Good food.
It was very good food. I had
Shocking.
garlic noodles beforehand and a little bit of tri-tip. It was outstanding. It's a Class A organization. That's why they're going back to the Super Bowl. Antonio,
Ranch or blue cheese?
Ranch.
Okay.
Every day of the week.
Just
I'll go blue cheese.
Just checking.
Because I go blue cheese because I'm a restaurateur. You know, I'm a foodie. So I go blue cheese. But I only go blue cheese
So nasty.
on buffalo or lemon pepper. If it's I can't do the sesame or any of those, I'll go ranch. I can't go blue cheese.
Yeah, if you get like a sweeter like barbecue or something, you have to go ranch, I feel like.
Yeah, you gotta cross them out.
Can I just say I hate showing up to the Super Bowl party and there's there's barbecue wings. I just like I eat them. I get
barbecue
why people
sauce
like them.
wings or on the made on the barbecue.
No,
barbecue
wings.
sauce
Okay,
wings.
okay.
You know, wings on the barbecue are banging.
Right.
Yeah,
They're
so
just
good.
different, but they're banging. But yeah, no, I hear you.
Especially if that's the only wing option. I'm like, come on, y'all. Like,
do we? Okay, so we got on.
because I understand
grow
people
up,
don't like
kinda.
spice level,
It's like
but it's like
So remember Nick Wright?
Childish.
Nick Wright was getting on people for doing the Thanksgiving. It's bad radio to do the what's your favorite meal at Thanksgiving? Is it also bad radio to do the hey, what's your favorite Super Bowl food? Because I don't care, Nick. We're doing it next
Nick
week.
Wright's got a bad haircut, so I don't care.
We're doing it next week, Nick. And you know he's got the never a doubt tattoo.
I saw that.
So the Niners.
What if we run into him at Radio Row?
Oh, I can't wait.
And he's got beef with us for this.
No, well, hopefully he
Oh,
does.
man.
We'll sit down with him. We're organizing things right now.
Let's
Before-
just ask him about his food choices.
Please,
The
before,
entire-
Nick, we just want to talk to you about Buffalo. You
Yes.
do blue cheese or
Hot
ranch.
dog
Probably
and sandwich?
Probably
Yeah.
get up and leave. That's what he'll do. Before we get to the phone lines, Tony Harvey says, "Hey, Stiles,
Hey, shout out to him.
is that San Francisco Seal shirt in honor of the West Coast Negro Baseball Association?" Yes, it was, Tony, or yes, it is. Tony Harvey got this a couple years back. I was really upset. I really wanted to go to the Giants game last season when they celebrated the San Francisco Seals Negro League team, and they gave away. And if anybody got one, I don't know how nice they are, but I really wanted one of those jerseys. And I think we had the baby, or I tore my Achilles, and I couldn't get over there.
One or the other.
One or the other. So my goal, I need to get a San Francisco Seals jersey as well. 916-339-1140. All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Mitch wants to be a part of the conversation, talking Wiggins, talking Harrison Barnes. What's up, Mitch? What you got for us?
What's up, fellas? How we doing? Thanks for taking a call. How about straight up? But I'm liking the way Harrison Barnes is playing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Sabonis is a great rebounder against Bill tomorrow. Feed him the ball. I mean, I think overall, I think Barnes is a better player. Wiggins has been hurt more. At least Barnes is healthier. Maybe make him feel more a part of the team. I don't know. I think I like him. Or on the bench or starting. Let's keep him. We just get another scorer. That's all I think.
Thanks for the call, Mitch. Yeah, I mean,
interesting.
If Wiggins can show back up, what Wiggins are you getting?
Yeah.
What Barnes are you giving away?
Yeah.
These are two. It is the most interesting situation between these two guys because of how similar they are. Now, I would say I trust Harrison Barnes more.
Yeah.
But if you hit with Andrew Wiggins and you get that lightning in a bottle, I think what we've learned from the Warriors is that at best, you're getting a really good Wiggins for a short amount of time.
Yep.
That's, I think, what we need to keep in mind. At this point, at 28 years old, I feel confident saying that you're not going to get that Andrew Wiggins from 2022 for more than a season. I don't see that happening.
The problem is again, I know it's not great radio. You don't know. Like you can't.
But I'm staying away. We're going to Vegas next week. That is something that I would stay away from. That is not a gamble that I want to take. Shout out Dan Gamble.
There's risks that can be taken, but it's much. I don't want to say it's a massive risk because, HB isn't giving you incredibly irreplaceable production. He has these past couple games, but it seems like that might be over now. But, Andrew Wiggins is the younger guy, but to me, it would just feel like we're running it back with HB. Did you like the HB experience that you've gotten from the time that he got traded here until now? Mm-hmm. Well, let's just run it back. Let's roll back the clock.
But you could get
we'll
worse,
do the same
Chris.
thing. No, absolutely. It could be worse. It could end up bad.
Out of all the guys that we have discussed, sometimes I joke about my dad a lot on this show. He always was looking for the deal.
Yeah.
And sometimes you end up spending more money because you've tried to get through too many deals. I know you don't like the Jeremy Grant contract, but at least you feel like you know what you're getting.
Yes.
Kyle Kuzma, you feel like you know what you're getting. Even a Zach LaVine, you feel like you know what you're getting. I don't care if it's a better deal. I'm trading Harrison Barnes, who is a glue guy, and I know he is a veteran on this team, for Andrew Wiggins, and I have no clue what I'm getting.
Well, and the problem is too, like if this is where Andrew Wiggins' trade stock is right now with the context of what he did for the Warriors in the past, well, if we're starting that clock over with, okay, what has Andrew Wiggins done in his imaginary Kings tenure here? It starts with what he does that season, and then, again, Wiggins is signed till 26, 27 or whatever. You're stuck with him. It's like, how do you move off of him? You could probably get more for just trading off Harrison Barnes. Like, that's almost, we haven't talked about that part. That's almost selling low on HB's value.
Yeah.
It's like with where he's at now with the guys the Kings were looking at getting for Harrison Barnes, granted a Harrison Barnes package. That would, again, just be trading HB for the sake of trading HB. And as a matter of fact, it would be worse because you'd be acquiring more money and more years onto the player. So it just doesn't make sense, especially not for HB. If you want to maybe talk Herter and Mitchell, I still don't think it makes any sense, but it changes it a little bit. But
everybody needs wings.
I just feel like at the end of the day, Andrew Wiggins is not the right lottery ticket for this team to buy.
No. If we're talking about when everybody is getting upset and you're on social media and it's, we need to make a move, I don't think that's what people had in mind.
No, I didn't even think about that. The discourse that would happen.
Yeah.
If it's like the Kings waited all season and this was the move, like,
and don't let him stink. Don't let the Kings get worse. Because you have to start him.
That's what I'm saying. That's the worst.
He's coming off the bench for a 12th place team.
Right. There you go.
Who was missing, and he was coming off the bench while Draymond was suspended.
Yes.
What are we actually talking about?
Right.
You can't play on that team?
Right.
Kuminga? And Chris doesn't even like Kuminga.
I really don't.
You can't start on that team, Andrew Wiggins?
Yeah. No, that's the point right there. I mean, I know we've considered benching HB too, and maybe you could argue we should have, but again, is that what you want? Like, is that the guy that you want to go out there and get? Is the guy that's essentially you listed off the numbers, he's literally having pretty much the same exact season as Harrison Barnes, except way more inefficient.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would you... Why, with where this team is at right now, where it feels like they're just kind of, they went on a 4-game losing streak and now go on a 4-game winning streak. It just doesn't feel like that's remotely the right risk to take. No. And, the deadline's we're creeping on a week away from the deadline here. You can get a better move than that. Like maybe if you're completely just we have to make a move and we have to get rid of HB, which they don't feel this way. But if for whatever reason that were the case, maybe you can consider it. But even then, I don't think you would get a lot of kind words in return for making that move.
Got to get to a break. When we get back, an update on the Oakland/Las Vegas/Sacramento A's. And I was in the Bay Area. There is a world where there is a situation that happens with the A's that I promise you've never, ever heard of or probably never even imagined in your life. We get into that right here on Stiles and Watkins at 12 o'clock. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
It was a comeback for the ages Sunday in Santa Clara.
Going to take a deep shot to Brandon Ayuk. It's the flush.
he caught it!
Caught! Ayuk caught it out of the air.
The 49ers saved their best for last and now have earned a trip to Las Vegas to face the Kansas City Chiefs.
It's over. The Niners are going to Vegas.
Join us for Super Bowl 58, Sunday, February 11th, on your home of the NFL, Sactown Sports.
Like. The team's looking good this season. I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenics Total T.
I've heard about Nugenics. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenics, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text JUDGE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenics Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenics Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text JUDGE to 42424. That's JUDGE to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Okay, everyone gather around. I have some exciting
Running her shoe factory, Kendra talks the talk and walks the walk.
We're switching to green energy.
She needs a biotech consultant to erase her carbon footprint.
All operations will net zero emissions.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
O'Reilly. Did you know 1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced? O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free. If your battery needs to be replaced, our professional parts people can help you find the right Superstart battery for your vehicle and budget. Don't wait. Get your battery tested for free today at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding ball movement by Sacramento.
Every triple, every jam, every Kings win.
Sabonis with the jam over the Joker. He's got the three-point shot.
Get your Kings fix all season long.
Right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings.
Here's a steal by Fox. The breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com.
At Elk Grove Kia, we get it. Life happens. We believe in second chances. Have repos, late payments, or faced bankruptcy? No problem. Our finance department is top-notch and ready to make miracles happen. No need to worry about money down. At Elk Grove Kia, you can drive away today with $0 out of pocket. Visit us at Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovekia.com. Your second chance to drive the car of your dreams is just a visit away. Elk Grove Kia, where we turn obstacles into opportunities. Dare to drive differently.
Elk Grove Kia. The 49ers earned the NFC's top seed.
On the first play of the game, CMC Dynamite.
Join all of our shows. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles, and Watkins. And the Drive Guys as they follow their quest for a 6th Super Bowl title.
Pressured right away by Young and sacked by Eric Armstead.
Sacktown Sports is your home for San Francisco 49ers football.
San Francisco!
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sacktown Sports.
Time to get your tickets for the Sacramento Sports Hall of Fame celebration, February 4th at Thunder Valley. Inductees include Matt Barnes. Go to Ticketmaster.com.
and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento, Las Vegas, Oakland A's.
Yeah. What they used to call the Angels? Wasn't it the
Los Angeles Angels? The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
The Oakland Athletics of Sacramento, Vegas.
Yes, the Las Vegas Athletics of Sacramento, formerly known as Oakland.
I hate how they make the sphere in Vegas, the A's thing already. Like, it's not final.
It's not even final.
No, I was like 4 months ago, I was there. And they were doing it. I'm like, this is a little premature.
It's just,
are you trying to say the A's jumped the gun on something here?
Yeah.
That's right. And
What?
Chris, there
Believe
is
it or
an
not.
athletic article from Ken Rosenthal, and you kind of broke down the important parts of that one.
Yes, there's a lot in here. I tried to skim and only highlight the things that I felt necessary, but there's just a ton in there. I definitely recommend you read it over The Athletic. But he just really pokes a lot of holes and expresses his skepticism in all the things that have been said, because as we know here locally, Dave Cavell and John Fisher just lie out of their teeth. They like it's second nature. And Rosenthal points out that the A's, according to a source briefed on their plans, the A's projected payroll, this is going to be hilarious, in the $130 to $150 million range during the ramp-up period before they move into their park, then $170 million plus once they are established in their new stadium. Dave Cavell declined to confirm those numbers, but said, quote, "We're budgeting numbers and we think we are in the higher side of the league." This is especially funny when you consider the A's last season had a major league low $56.9 million payroll and haven't ranked in the top 15 in player salaries since 1994. Wow. Those numbers would be transformative and shocking, to say the least. Also, with all of this comes a whole inner workings of local TV deals. And I guess NBC Sports California has some deal with the A's signed through, I think it's 2023 or 33 or something like that. And by the A's moving out of the market, they would then be breaching that contract. I guess NBC Sports pays the A's upwards of $67 million, according to the San Francisco Chronicle, which is reportedly why Sacramento is a city that they are looking at, not because they would get the full $67 million or whatever they're guaranteed, but there's possibility for maybe working out something with saying, hey, we kind of kept it in the market, but obviously still breached the contract a little bit. I think they're still both broadcasted on NBC Sports California. So, there's a possibility here that Sacramento is being used nothing more but just so the A's can still be able to collect checks, which also adds a level of complexity to this when it comes to already Sacramento fans being a little bit wishy-washy on how they feel. And I think rightfully so. I think it's an incredibly complex situation for Sacramento to deal with, but definitely could possibly be getting played in all of this, or at least used as a pawn in all of this.
Survive in advance.
Absolutely. And these are the last two notes that I'll take from the Rosenthal thing. When I asked Cavell if staying in Oakland was possible, a crazy thought if there ever was one, but maybe not so crazy if it yields the largest TV payout, he said, "We're looking at all options. No options have been excluded at this time." And Alan Stiles definitely has something to add to that portion, but here's one last note. The team, since Fisher became majority owner in 2005, again, has never ranked higher than 17th in payroll, which was in 2007. They've never spent more than $92.2 million in player salary. That was in 2019. But thanks to savvy management by Billy Beane and David Frost over a 15-year span from 2006 to 2020, the A's have somehow reached the postseason 7 times.
Wow. So they are basically saying, is that still just to get, is with staying in Oakland, it would be until they're done in 2028?
Yep.
So whether
they're
it's
saying
Oakland,
that's still a possibility that they have not completely ruled out.
Because the Sacramento thing, that would be until 2028?
That would be, the 3-year stay. essentially.
So they're just trying to figure out where the 3-say is going to happen.
Essentially, yes. And there is talk that maybe like they can work out 1-for-1 deals where it's like, hey, maybe 1 year in Sacramento and then moving over to Salt Lake. There's a lot of interest in the Salt Lake thing.
Complete mess.
The Salt Lake thing, I think, is a very, very real layer of this, where they have, I believe it's the former Jazz owner is looking for the A's to move into, I believe the Salt Lake City Bees have a AAA park that they're looking to move into. And I guess Salt Lake is also a couple-hour drive from Vegas, so it would be a little bit more like a transition into the new market. But there's also a possibility that there's a lot of talk about the A's. Just the deal is essentially, it's all but kaputs. And there's a lot of people who are saying, this is not just a, hey, come play at our stadium for 3 years.
Salt Lake, this is,
it's
hey,
a
this
lot
actually
bigger
makes
than
more
that.
sense.
Yes, exactly.
But they would still have to make their, what would they add on to it? Or they would
add on to it. It would essentially say, hey, play in the stadium, and for those 3 years, we can negotiate how to make this thing bigger.
The actual stadium, so to not make another stadium.
I don't know if they've gotten that far on those talks, but the talk is essentially just, this is not just a tryout. This could potentially, it's all of the things. It could be a tryout for this team. It could be a tryout for MLB as an expansion, or it can just straight up be we're going to hold on to this team and we're not going to let go, which has been, I feel like that's happened a couple times in history. Where, you think it's somewhere for a couple of years and then they just never end up moving. It's ridiculous. I mean, this whole thing, to Nate's point about the Sphere too, it's crazy how much victory lapping, not even really victory lapping, because even then it felt unlegitimate, but just the everything is fine nature of all of this that the A's have approached this with is insane. It's actually insanity how these guys have continued to just act like this is all signed, sealed, delivered, and it's all good. And what are you talking about? Renderings not being true. And there's a bunch of talk about finances that were supposed to be approved by a certain date that have just come and gone. This is the worst display of ownership I think there's been definitely in my lifetime, but I would love to hear from people who are older than I am. I can't imagine somebody just showing their behind as much as John Fisher has.
Yeah, I just don't understand how you operate like this.
It's crazy.
It's almost bad. It almost even makes them look better, the fact that they went to the postseason those years.
Right. Oh, totally. It masked everything, right?
Right. They were never cashing out. And I don't know if the thought process is, hey, once we get to Vegas, I will cash out.
That is what they're saying. They're saying it's appropriate for the market.
So was your plan to when you got the team to just always get out of Oakland, because you never put the money into the team in Oakland?
I think that I don't think John Fisher had a plan is what I would say. I think that things soured and it's now gotten to the point where it's almost vindictive. Like it feels like this is no longer about what's best. It's almost like, it's a divorce. It's not what's best for the kids. It's no, I'm trying to get back at you for something that happened years ago. And it feels like John Fisher is saying, I don't care about the A's. I don't care about the A's fans. I'm upset that the city of Oakland didn't build me a stadium and didn't cooperate and wanted me to put my money forward to build a stadium when I feel like the city should help. And it feels like, in the pre-pandemic times when they were, by all intents and purposes, negotiating with good faith, it seemed like it was working, but I think something went wrong. Maybe it was the transfer of mayor. I'm not 100% keened in on the situation, but it seems like something drastically changed. And once John Fisher made up his mind that he didn't want to deal with the city anymore, it felt like he was going to make it as ugly as possible. And I don't see what the big win is here, because it seems like everybody, this has just shined a bright light on how terrible John Fisher is as an executive, as a CEO, as a businessman, and frankly, as a person too.
Right. And, that stuff goes a long way as far as the fan base. And, we played that note last week when he was at some event and nobody was cheering for him.
Hit the jaw rule.
We've said it time and time again. We already understand that Major League Baseball is not football. You can't just plop a team somewhere and people are going to flock to it. You got too many dang games, which don't get me started on that. And it's just not the same.
There's also no local interest there.
No.
Not to mention that. I mean, the fact that you're not, who are going to be the Las Vegas A's fans that go to your point, 81 home games?
No one.
Nobody.
Anybody that buys season tickets are buying tickets to sell them.
Yeah, and like exactly. Maybe you'll get casinos and business people buying them
because
for
Vegas,
that purpose.
Because the Raiders are different because there's a game once a week.
Yep.
You can find somebody that will fly out once a week. Raider fans are Raider fans, but there's
Especially
too many
when there's
games.
only 8 of them.
So nobody is buying those tickets. You'd have to be okay. Here's the market. A's fans that were already A's fans that now live in Vegas.
Yeah.
That's your market.
All 1,000 of them or something.
Yes.
You know, like that's a very, and like how much of the Vegas Strip too is like, you know, whatever. It's like going, I can't think of another example, but it's the touristy place. Like how many locals actually are like, yeah, you know what I want to do on my Wednesday is drive onto the Strip and see some terrible baseball just because I like the Braves. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna just go hang out, and there's nothing better I can do with my day. There's just no way. I mean, it's ill-conceived. It's just the whole thing has, from Jump Street, it hasn't made any sense, and they've just been trying to convince us that this thing makes a ton of sense.
The Raider thing was so completely different because they were in LA.
It's a brand.
It's a true
Raiders
brand.
especially.
And not to get off topic, but the idea about a lot of people were saying, hey, the reason most Raiders fans would have to root for the Niners over the Chiefs is because the Chiefs, that's your division. Raider fans, that's a specific group of Raider fans from Oakland.
Yes.
That have to deal with, or you could make the argument California.
Right.
But
sure.
NorCal Raider fans that have to deal with their buddies that are Niner fans. And somebody put into perspective, Raider fans are all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So all Raider fans hate the Chiefs. Not all Raider fans have that Bay Area rivalry because the Raiders have been all over the place. The A's, their brand isn't that strong.
No.
And in part, what he should have been doing, if he really were to think ahead, he would have been building this brand instead of tearing it down so that you have a brand to go to Vegas. You don't build a brand in Vegas unless it's brand new, right? The Vegas Knights or something like that. The Raiders already have a brand that they just took to Vegas. You can't refurbish a brand in Vegas, especially when you have the longest schedule, the longest season out of all the seasons with the least amount of urgency.
Right.
It's terrible. Yeah. And I honestly, it makes me think, how did these people get rich to begin with? How did this even happen?
Trust fund babies, I believe.
How are you not able to transition your, what you've done, your business savviness?
The gap in Old Navy.
I do not understand it. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, when Chris alluded to everything is on the table.
Yes.
Everything is on the table. I have, you know me, I'm always looking for sources. I have a Bay Area source that told me something, and when he said it to me, I couldn't believe what I just heard. Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers, the Kansas City Chiefs. It's Super Bowl 58, live from Las Vegas, Sunday, February 11th on Sactown Sports.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
Time to get your tickets for the Sacramento Sports Hall of Fame celebration, February 4th at Thunder Valley. Inductees include Matt Barnes. Go to Ticketmaster.com.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
There are a lot of options when it comes to the Oakland A's, and none of them seem to be too great. But this one, my friends, may take the cake. So, as you know, I was down back in the Bay Area for the Niners game, spoke with someone, just came up in conversation. Bay Area source told me that there is something being floated around. So after that 2025 season for the A's, nobody knows what's going to happen. Are you ready for this, Chris? Are you ready for this, Nate? Are you ready for this? To all of our Sactowners, our Sactown Sports listeners, however you may be listening, don't forget you listen on TuneIn if you are not able to get to an AM situation. You can't forget that one. YouTube.
Yeah.
Sactown Sports.
There's an app. We got Sactown Sports app.
Sactown Sports app. A lot of ways to listen because you're going to want to hear this. That person told me that there is an idea being floated around that between 2025 and 2028, the A's would not exist as a franchise.
I'm sorry?
So
like
basically, so between 2025 and 2028, Major League Baseball would run with 29 teams. And when 2028 comes around, they would basically do an expansion draft. That idea is also being floated
It's almost
around.
Disbanding the A's as a franchise
For 3 years.
altogether.
For 3 years. Those players would be able to sign with other teams. I don't know the minor league. If you're worth anything in the minor league, somebody comes and finds you. If not, thank you for your service. And then we refresh everything in 2028 in Vegas. If they can't figure something out.
Wow. I mean, that's just not something that I've ever considered even being a possibility, to just completely say bye-bye franchise and then just, oh yeah, actually here they're springing up like the Phoenix
right
in Vegas. I mean, that feels like an absolute last resort, breaking case of emergency. There's nobody who will take us. This is our only option. That's the only way I could see that happening, because that feels like, I mean, that just feels like it
would save them money, I would imagine. Don't have to deal with
you wouldn't have to
whatever is
pay
happening.
anything, I guess.
Yeah.
But that just feels so extreme. And the craziest of it all is it doesn't feel like that's 100% out of the realm of possibility when you're talking about what these guys have been talking about with this move in general. I mean, I'm honestly shocked. Like hearing it seems like something that shouldn't. I mean, that's almost an admission of being wrong completely from the start, that you never had a plan in the first place, and to just completely disband an entire organization it'd be massive. Like, you can't just, that's jobs. That's, whether it be ushers or I know the ushers
moving anyway.
I guess. Right. I guess. Yeah.
It's
oh my God.
It's time.
That feels just so extreme.
Time heals all wounds.
Yeah.
So maybe it's, hey, we kind of fall back for 3 years. People forget how much they hate us. People forget how much we botched this.
Would that be a rebrand when they relaunch?
And then they would come back as the Vegas A's, I would imagine.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's just insane. I mean, that's crazy. And again, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility.
No.
I definitely put it in the lower percentile, but I mean, yeah, I could definitely see how that would be their last ditch effort at trying to maybe save this thing from a public perception is, hey, maybe if we just have this thing go away instead of oh, are the A's going to be here for a year? Are they going to stay in Salt Lake
it's
City?
messy, right? That's
it's
one way
already
to
messy, yeah.
Get rid of the mess. We're just not going to play.
Man, that's crazy. And then not to mention the whole operating with 29 teams thing, what that would do to baseball. I mean,
There's an asterisk. I mean, they weren't going to win anything.
Ugh. I mean, at that point, too, if you're Rob Manfred, you've got to get John Fisher out. If John Fisher forces you to do something like that, you can't have that guy stick around. If you said, dude, you literally made me get rid of our one of 30 franchises, you can't stick around because of your mismanagement of this. Right. No. You got to get to step in, brother.
Because it would affect, I would imagine it would affect TV deals in some fashion because of other teams especially the AL West. The AL West. Yeah, the AL West.
You'd have to figure out new scheduling, everything, all of it.
Who do you play instead of? Because the ALS plays them a lot.
And the Players Association's not going to be too thrilled with, I don't even know how many more jobs or how many less jobs that would be for their players as well. That's crazy, man. That's insane. And I think it's just, even if it's, your source is wrong on it or whatever, I think the fact that that's even remotely a possibility, I think, is just incredibly telling of where this situation is at and just how bad this thing has gotten and how out of control. And this is completely Major League Baseball's fault. The fact that we're even allowed to speculate about that being a remote possibility it's just a complete failure all the way around. And baseball should be ashamed, and definitely the A's should be ashamed. But at this point, there's a lot of things they should be ashamed about. So I don't know, man. If that happens, there's got to be hell to pay. There has to be.
So I'm looking here, and I know a couple teams have lost minor league teams, but just the classic. And I know there's high A, low A, but just to keep it as simple as possible, there are essentially 30 players on each level. So 30, 60, and then you have 90. So call it about 150, around 150 players. In each organization.
So is that the whole organization that would go down, or is it just the A's parent, like the top club? Because, just because the A's aren't around, does that mean that
would the minors just play?
Right.
And then you play and you where do you get called up to?
I don't know. Does it become the G League Ignite almost?
Yeah, do you just get signed to another team if you're balling out?
Again, it sounds like a logistical nightmare. And if they do get to that point, I'm telling you, there's no way you can have that guy stick around, because it's just creating that would create so many headaches. And at this point, they would have to get it all figured out in a year. It's crazy. That's insane. It does sound like something that would be a movie in the worst way possible.
You have Amid Rock on the Sac chat saying this is like the movie Major League. It is.
Yeah.
It definitely is. And that is what is being floated around. It hasn't really come out too much, but that is an idea. Nothing is off the table, like you just said, Chris. And this isn't off the table to just run with 29 teams. And when the stadium is done, we do some version of a redraft. Yeah. I don't even know how that works with baseball because of all the prospects.
Right.
Hey, well, I'm just going to give you this guy or that
A's
guy.
Are full of prospects anyway.
Right.
Even their big club.
Exactly. So, when I heard that one, I thought, I guess that's possible.
That's where they're at. And it's just, it's crazy, man. And I don't know how, I just don't know how they make this situation better. And how about A's fans too, who then would they're already balancing of, should I even remotely consider, even if the team moves to Sacramento, then you're just saying, no, not only you thought that this person would just exist, or this thing would just exist and you could ignore it. No, we're actually just going to kill it. We're just going to completely, not only can you not, hey, maybe you liked one or two guys on this A's. Oh, you're curious about Tyler Soderstrom and his development throughout, even though you're not an A's fan or supporter, you grew in a affiliation with him and you want to see how it's no. It's kaput. It's completely. You're not going to see any of it. They're dead, and you can see them in 3 years when they come back as a living nightmare for you.
Yeah, I mean,
don't put them through that, man. They've been through enough.
It's not. Yeah, nobody deserves this. No fan base deserves this, especially not Oakland A's fans who've had to deal with losing the Raiders, the Warriors, now the A's, and clearly John Fisher just does not care. So, yeah, maybe they'll run with 29, and we'll see in 2028. Got to get to a break. When we get back, we talked about Andrew Wiggins. Sham says that the Warriors would even take calls on Klay Thompson.
Ooh.
1, are you believing it? 2, fine. You don't want Andrew Wiggins? What about Klay Thompson? Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
It was a comeback for the ages Sunday in Santa Clara.
Going to take a deep shot to Brandon Ayuk. It's the float. He caught. Ayuk caught it out of the air.
The 49ers saved their best for last and now have earned a trip to Las Vegas to face the Kansas City Chiefs.
It's over. The Niners are going to Vegas.
Join us for Super Bowl 58, Sunday, February 11th, on your home of the NFL, Sactown Sports.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
It's time to buck up Sacramento. The professional bull riders are back. PBR Sacramento Wrangler Long Live Cowboys Classic will take over downtown's Golden One Center this February 2nd through 4th. 3 huge nights of edge-of-your-seat bucking, featuring some of the biggest bulls and toughest cowboys on the planet. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster. Get your tickets for a weekend of non-stop bucking action this February 2nd through 4th.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with 0 down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
0 down with approved credit.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. Plus line dancing, a mechanical bull, and Sacramento's best food trucks. One-day tickets are on sale now, starting at $46, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more info, visit CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by Hobler Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center.
It's no secret to golf enthusiasts that Timber Creek and Sierra Pines in Roseville are one of the region's most unique and scenic places to enjoy a great game of golf. 27 holes, boundless options. Elevate your game on our newly renovated driving range, putting green, and chipping area. Whether you're aiming for fun, lower scores, or all-around growth, we've got you covered. Experience golfing dreams in Roseville and book your tee time at timbercreekgc.com. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, your ultimate golf haven.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
from Shams Charania. They're the Warriors going to take calls on Andrew Wiggins, Chris Paul, and they could get interest on a guy even like Klay Thompson. I think those are very much open-minded conversations for the Warriors. They have to be open-minded. Would you want Klay Thompson? Real quick, we are 30 minutes away from our giveaway of 2 pairs of Eddie Griffin tickets. Live Nation has teamed up with Sactown Sports to hook you up with tickets to check out comedy legend Eddie Griffin live at Hard Rock, Sacramento, April 13th. Hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. In 30 minutes, we will tell you what caller number we are looking for to win those tickets. You want Klay Thompson?
I gotta jump in on this. I'm sorry. It's 1 pair, and that's my fault. This is the production fault. So we're giving away 1 pair of tickets.
1 pair.
But still, call in.
Wow.
And you're gonna get that single pair. It's 2 tickets.
Wow.
Just for 1 person.
Okay.
Or,
one pair
for
of tickets.
caller.
1 number.
That's on Nate. 1,000%.
30 minutes away. And he would no longer be playing with number 30 if he were to leave Golden State.
Yeah.
That was good.
Klay Thompson. You don't want Andrew Wiggins, Chris? I'm just giving you a bunch of recycled Warriors.
Why not?
Fine.
We don't have enough of those here.
That's
in
right.
Sacramento.
You don't want Andrew Wiggins. What about Klay Thompson?
It depends what we're talking about, but I think Klay even is. I know he's on an expiring, but he's somebody who wants a new contract, right? I mean, isn't there a lot of talk about
because they
the deal he's
offered
looking
him
for?
something.
I think it was 2 for 48, or
something like that,
Yeah.
and he turned it down over the summer,
Right.
and then got a dose of reality.
I would say so.
This season so far.
It all kind of comes back to that conversation that we had on the Kings Roundtable. Feels like months ago now with Brendan, who was and Frankie, but Brendan was on the other side of us. We were all team. I feel like money considered, you'd probably rather take Kevin Huerter, and I don't know if I've gotten past that line of thinking where, it's not that Klay Thompson isn't a better player than Kevin Huerter. It's just when you're talking about the dollar figure that you're going to be paying Klay Thompson, it feels like you can get similar or close to similar production from Kevin Huerter for a significantly reduced price. So it really just comes down to how much do you believe is still left in Klay Thompson?
Well, it also comes down to what you think Klay is going to demand this offseason as well. So now I'm doing this comparison. This one, again, you got to remember the money because this one isn't as close, but you got to think Klay is essentially the second option.
Yeah.
We just read you Andrew Wiggins stats. That dude can't throw a beach ball into the ocean right now. So Klay Thompson is just a high volume shooter. So Klay Thompson this season averaging 17.6 points, 3.4 rebounds, 2.4 assists on 42.1% shooting. This season he's averaging 30.9 minutes on 42.1% from the field, 38.5% from 3.
It's not really a good fit. I'm trying to look here. Yeah. So,
and he can't guard your best player anymore. Kevin Huerter might be better than Klay Thompson defensively right now.
He could be. He definitely could be. I mean, they don't put Klay, to your point, on primary ball handlers anymore. And I'm looking, if you're just going to say what's the role that Klay Thompson would play here? Because the perfect word, volume shooter. This year, Klay has taken the fewest field goal attempts since his second year in the NBA. 14.5. You know where 14.5 field goal attempts would put Klay Thompson on this Kings team? Number 2, above Domantas Sabonis and above Keegan Murray. Kevin Huerter takes 9 shots a game right now. So you're talking about a guy who would then just be, essentially besides De'Aaron, be at the forefront of your offense. He's probably taking all the threes away from Kevin Huerter. He's probably taking a couple threes away from Keegan. Just doesn't really make sense. It just really doesn't make sense as a fit. Klay just makes a lot of sense for a team like the Lakers, where it's just like,
they've been trying to do it for years.
Yeah, just make, the synergy with his dad playing with the Lakers. It makes a lot of sense. To me, that's the kind of situation I could see Klay walking into. I just don't see him, I don't think he would be upset in this Sacramento situation. I don't think he would play any less hard, but I definitely think it's just not the right fit. Maybe if he was still there defensively, you could talk yourself into it. But if you're just trading for a volume shooter, again, I just don't think that's what the Kings really need.
No, I don't either. And there are a couple guys that are floating around, and
I don't even know what you would give up for Clay at this point. Like, what are the Warriors to I think you asked this about Wiggins, but like, what do the Warriors want? What direction are they trying to move into?
I don't think they know. All I think they know is that they have to do something and that this isn't working. Yeah. But I don't.
$43 million, by the way, this year Clay is being paid.
First of all, I just don't think that they know what Clay is worth.
Yes, exactly. Right.
And if they
a lot
don't
of
know
name value there.
Yeah. And I saw yesterday just other names roaming around, and Jillian Adge, who is obviously Kings legend, right? And Jill saw the video, and I don't know if you saw floating around with Lonnie Walker the fourth. And
yes,
essentially he was just saying, I'm just looking. It was pretty darn sad.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for a home,
essentially.
And Jill said, come on to Sacramento. And he's another guy. I love what we saw from him in the playoffs when the Lakers were going to win the whole thing, and they have the best roster.
The Lonnie Walker game will live in infamy forever.
I was surprised that he ended up going to the Nets and doesn't really get that many minutes on a team that's not very good. I'm not a Lonnie Walker connoisseur, but obviously there's some holes in his game. That's a guy that I think the Warriors should be in business with the Nets to not just get him, but get you a wing, get you another wing, get you a Lonnie Walker.
Get Corey Joseph out of there, man, because let me tell you, when I was in the Bay, that was like the number one thing I heard from media and just fan chatter is, why is Corey Joseph in the game?
Yeah.
Which Kings fans had to deal with that for a while, but now it makes even less sense.
No more Kojo. Kojo got to go.
Yeah.
So I would do that. I love Lonnie Walker, but I also, just speaking to the fit of Klay Thompson, I don't think he's a fit on this Kings team. Mm-mm. I think he's too similar to Malik, right? Yeah. He's 6'4".
Yeah. You can play like a Terrence Davis role last year, which you could argue this team needs, but I don't think it's the biggest need.
You could take him if you plan on starting Malik.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So maybe during this summer.
Right, yeah. Or if Kevin Huerter gets moved on.
Or if Kevin Huerter gets moved. But right now.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
I'm not moving him.
A lot of sense, but it's just. I mean, it's not the primary thing that they should be looking at.
But great, but seems like a great guy.
Yeah.
Just seems like he
young
really,
too. Yeah.
Really just wants a home. But yeah, Klay Thompson. Yeah, I can't touch that either.
It's a lot of money just to even match. To try and make the deal for Klay Thompson, you would have to get somewhere near the $40 million range. And I think the Kings' only path to that would be Barnes, Huerter. And I don't even know if Davion Mitchell would get you. I think that might get you to like 39, maybe 40 million. And again, Klay's making 43. So
it's an incredibly large amount of money.
It's a lot. And again, maybe this is the Zach LaVine, shoehorn Zach LaVine to Golden State.
Yeah.
It just feels like that's like their desperate move where it's like, that's a maybe a win now guy, like in terms of he can produce now and he's young enough and on a ridiculous contract to where maybe, the Warriors already are living in cap hell with, I think they're one of the highest luxury teams in the league. So what's $50 million contract brought in, I guess.
I just don't think they're going to move off Klay.
I think
where does Zach LaVine net you out? Is this for next season, really?
Yeah, it's just for the future in general. It's in the similar way that it's almost like it's a bit like HB for Wiggins, where it's you're getting a couple years younger. Definitely don't think LaVine's not even. LaVine is a lot closer to Klay Thompson, the defender today, than he was Klay Thompson, the defender 5 years ago. But I guess you can maybe sell yourself on this is a high volume scorer that you're putting next to Steph, and it'll be exciting, I guess. I don't know. What are you selling? You're selling like nostalgia essentially right now. You're just like, hey, Klay and Steph playing their greatest hits. Here's Klay Thompson still taking 15 threes a game.
Yeah.
Isn't this fun?
And Moody's been injured, but I think they go ahead and try to convince Chicago. Sure, like you said, not a great contract, but I think I would convince you. I just don't see them moving Clay. But if you're going to Zach LaVine route, which I think they could, and say, Clay, stop shooting, we're going to pay you less here. I think what they do is Wiggins. They don't want to get rid of Kuminga. We know that. But Wiggins, Moody, and somebody else, and just say, hey, Chicago, this is a lot of different things that you could do something with.
Sure, right.
Doesn't seem like you really know what you want to do anyway.
They don't. They definitely don't.
So just take this, and you can finally be done with LaVine. Now, if you're talking Steph, LaVine, you keep Clay in a lesser role and Draymond.
Yeah.
I don't think you're winning the whole thing, but you could.
It's something.
You could.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in a way that's true. I guess LaVine would be a little bit more of, I guess his role would be a little bit more similar to what they ask Wiggins to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I think the point that we've reached here is definitely the Warriors got to do something. They have to do something, and they got to move on from one of their core four guys, which is, I mean, they're not moving on from Steph. Seems like nobody, Draymond just doesn't have value right now, I think, and Clay and Wiggins are really the only two that are left, and I'm sure if Looney has any value, maybe they'll kick the tires on that, but they got to do something because they can't just sit here and waste Steph Curry's the end of Steph Curry's prime, which is the other. Yeah, but that feels like something where they're going to have to come together and just agree. That sounds like an off-season thing where it's like, hey man, this season did not go well. I don't think next year is going to go well either. Maybe we can do ourselves a favor if you trade me Steph Curry.
And LaMelo.
That's what I've been pushing
Steph
for.
Or LaMelo.
I've been pushing Steph to Charlotte. That's all I got. It'd be tough for the Warriors to accept that without LaMelo involved, but get it done.
Got to get to a break. When we get back, continuing the conversation as we get ready for the Kings and Heat tomorrow. Also, some NFL talk. Has Lamar hit his ceiling? And Tom Brady has some words about Brock Purdy. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings road trip continues Wednesday in South Beach.
Herder with a wraparound, and Sabonis rips it down for a 2020 game.
It's the Kings and the Heat.
Wednesday at 4:30 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
Grab the keys to a new Toyota. A new year means new adventures. Take on any terrain behind the wheel of a new Toyota truck. Seize the great deals happening now at your local Toyota dealer and gear up for your next adventure. Right now, get low 3.99% APR on the legendary 2023 Tacoma, or get $750 cash back on the powerful 2024 Tundra. Haul in the new year in a new Toyota truck. Toyota. Let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium ready credit. Excludes TRD Pro. Ends 1/31/24.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, get a free T-check and free exam. Book your appointment today at Revive Sacramento. We know we can help you. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee-owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
Awesome. Hey, babe, can you check the front door? My package is here.
Yeah, on it. Hey, are we still watching our show tonight?
New episode on Prime? You bet. That reminds me, let's hit Whole Foods this afternoon. We need snack supplies.
From package deliveries to entertainment and even fresh groceries, Amazon is in front of hundreds of thousands of customers every single day. Imagine what you could do if your business had that kind of reach. It's not a dream. Right now, you can take advantage of Amazon's expansive network to benefit your business. Unlock expert insights and tap into the full potential of Amazon. Simply text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105 now. Make the smart move. Text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105. Put the power of Amazon to work for you. Text DIGITAL, that's DIGITAL, to 916-766-5105.
Get a great deal on your new Silverado at the Maida Chevy Silverado Superstore. Great selection, great factory financing and incentive, and great Maida Chevy savings on every new Silverado in stock. Online at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
From the 530 on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline text line, you don't think people vacationing on the Strip will treat an A's game as a show for a night? I definitely do. I definitely do think that. It's just not enough. There's 162 games.
I don't know if anybody will.
I think, but the whole thing with the NFL is Raiders playing the Packers. A bunch of cheeseheads are going to parlay,
yes,
no pun intended, a trip to Vegas to see their team.
Absolutely.
But that's a 17 or 18 week span, right? And actually half of that because when the Raiders are on the road. Right. I just don't see that happening. I guess if you're just saying there's always people in Vegas, and would a doesn't have to have any affiliation with the A's, maybe because the tickets might be dirt cheap, but
I don't see it. I don't see.
Out of all the shows, hey, babe.
That's the last thing I'm picking.
Hey, babe, I know you wanted to see Usher's residency, but I got us A's tickets instead.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
That sounds absolutely terrible. And like the only thing I can think is a bachelor party, but you would plan.
That is what it's going to be.
That's it. Like,
but that's not enough.
And
it's
even then, I'd be a little
groups
upset.
Of 10 dudes out in.
Sorry, you'd be thinking this with the NHL, right? Like, okay, like why are you putting the NHL there? But I think all I've heard my whole life is that hockey is more of an experience when you go.
Sure.
And it's like a crazy thing. Baseball, when you go, it's just chilling, really. It's not that
the
crazy.
The nights are different because the Knights
started
were born in Vegas.
Exactly. That's a great point.
That is the one thing that Vegas actually has that is their baby.
Yeah. If I'm there, I think I can convince more people to pay a ticket's probably $50 more to go to a Knights game and be like, no, it's hockey. It's going to be crazy. Let's do it. This will be fun. Over,
that's
like
a great
you said,
point.
Even if it's the A's and like Yankees or something crazy.
No, because they're going to play again 18 more times.
Yeah, but if you're there and it's like a one-time thing, you know what I mean? And you have to pick between one or the other.
You're picking hockey.
Yeah, and you're paying that extra $50.
Vegas is all about doing things you don't get to normally do. You can go to a baseball game anytime you want.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem.
And I mean, to the texter's point too, there's so many other things to do. There's so many other shows. Like, I mean, if you're just bored and you're like, hey, well, let's plan 3 days here. You can say, let's go to a baseball game, but I'm probably going to say, yeah, or we can do the 100 other, we can go see Circus Olay or something. Like, again, it's just I don't know. I just can't see, if you love baseball, absolutely.
You gotta really love baseball.
You gotta really
or
love
a bachelor party.
Let's just go get yard-long frozen drinks. Let's do that instead.
That's what I'm
Same
saying. Like, because you're
price.
going to be sitting there in the stands anyway. You can go to a sports book and watch the game
That's a
on
great
TV.
point. You have limited time in Vegas. You really
So
want to spend
limited.
4 or
Trapped.
5
You're trapped
hours
there.
in the sun.
Dude, the sun is gonna,
Royals.
No, come on.
bro.
No.
July.
Well, I told you, this is what's so funny. So I told you that in March, I'll be going back to Scottsdale it was for spring training, right? I still got to get it approved by HR. We're still waiting here. It's just one day. It's just a Friday. And my buddies is kind of, because in Arizona it's a lot of golf.
Yeah.
So my buddies, we have the group chat. There's 8 of us in it, and then next thing you know, it's if we're all getting in on Friday or Thursday night, do we want to golf on Friday? And then it's like, yeah, we definitely want to golf Friday. Then the question is, okay, we got A's fans and Giants fans in the chat, right? And people who don't care. Okay, well, Saturday we can try to sneak in golf. and then go to a spring training game, or we can bang the second golf and go spring training. You know what everybody picked? Giants and A's fans included.
So forget it. Forget the game.
Let's just golf again. If that's the choice, I'd rather just golf again.
Right.
Because it's all about doing things. These trips are about doing things you don't get to normally do.
Yes.
Right? A whole golf weekend sounds more fun than checking out a bunch of, and I know it's their AAA, and a lot of times they have the big boys down there. I don't care.
No, and the problem is too, baseball, to Nate's point about hockey being a great experience, baseball is the least fun going, like in terms of in-game entertainment.
Yeah. There's
nothing there. It's NBA, you got just halftime performers, you got in between timeouts, at least to keep your interest. But if you're going to a baseball game, you're quite literally just sitting in the stands, enjoying the game and talking amongst yourselves. And that just doesn't fit the Vegas vibe at all. That's not what you're there to do at all. It'd be nice if it's, hey, we're going to Salt Lake City. There's not a ton of things to do. Oh, there's a baseball game. Well, that sounds like a nice way to spend it. That's not Vegas. That's not Vegas. I'm not going to be trapped anywhere for 4 hours in Vegas.
We just finished watching a show on Netflix called 5-Star Chef. Did you watch that one?
I did not. No.
So it's in Europe, and it's at a famous hotel, and it's 10 chefs from all around the globe, right? Competing to win to be the head chef of this really high, the elite of the elites go there in Europe, right? There's a restaurant hotel. And what they would say on some of the plates that came out would say, this is great food. This is not 5-star. It has to be an experience.
Right.
And right now, baseball, and you've been to Allegiant.
Baseball's food.
You've been to Allegiant.
Yeah.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
I don't think that right now baseball has enough Vegas in it.
Yes.
I don't think you can flip it into a Vegas situation right now.
And not even to mention, we haven't even talked about the quality of the product.
No.
Like, you're not even
That's
going.
why they want the redraft.
Like, yeah, exactly.
That's why they want the redraft in 2028.
Yeah, because they need talent. Like, what is we're going to the A's game. At the very least, we'll see player X. Like, there's nobody there. There's no draw except for the other team. And that's a big problem with the A's in general. You can't just, especially with the plans that they laid out there, at least at the start of this thing, to try and justify building the stadium. It was, we're going to sell out. I think the plan, like the financial plan that they had laid out, implied that there would be sellouts to all the home games and all of the events that they have at that venue as well. And it's just, there's 0% chance that A's Royals you could probably run through the stands at an A's Royals game in Vegas.
I believe, I don't want to get into a Vegas jail though, but I believe, did Lady Gaga have a residency out there too? A lot of people have residencies out there. Hey babe, we can go see the Lady Gaga Chippendale. Not that you can go with your baby to see Chippendales, but hey babe, you can go with your friends wherever. You got the Usher residency. You can go to Top Golf.
That's what I'm saying. Top Golf, Cirque du Soleil.
Or we can go check out Esturi Ruiz, Ryan Noda, Brent Rooker, JJ Bleday, Lawrence Butler, Jordan Diaz, and Nick Allen for the A's.
One of those was a fake name.
No, they were all real names.
I refuse to
They were
believe.
all real names. Before we get to a break here, Chris, going back to the Kings from the 916. Watkins, your argument against Clay on the Kings because of shot usage could be the same thing with Sasha. His numbers in Europe required a lot of shots.
I'm going to need a translator for that. I don't understand what they're trying to say.
But his numbers are not what they are. They're completely different to what they are in Europe. So I don't understand.
I don't understand. Are you trying to say, is your point to say you can't take somebody's numbers in one situation and then directly apply it to another? I hear you. I do hear you.
But Sasha's having no impact really
I
this
think
season.
and also you're losing the forest for the trees. It's just I feel the bigger point is I feel like Clay, in order at this point, you said he was a volume shooter. In order for him to be effective, it seems like at this point in his career, if he's getting 9 shots, it doesn't seem like he's going to be hitting
exactly
5 or 6 of them.
Yes, he is the guy. He's very similar to Kevin Huerter, and he's got to get lathered up a bit.
Yeah.
He needs to get warmed up, and then a lot of times he'll go off in that second half. You just don't have time on this Kings team. You don't have time on this Kings team. Thank you to the 916 on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline and text line. Got to get to a break. When we get back, we do our giveaway for 1 pair of Eddie Griffin tickets. Also, we have the Truck Smart Drive, and this might be the most electric Truck Smart Drive of the week that we've had all season long. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Kings look to extend their win streak to 5 in a row.
He scores again. Harrison Barnes is just in fuego.
It's the Kings and the Heat from Miami, Wednesday at 4:30 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text JUDGE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone-boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text JUDGE to 42424. That's JUDGE to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I remember as if it were yesterday. I reached down to move a nightstand and was astonished at the weight of the piece. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At that moment, I instantly recognized the difference between Naturewood's quality furniture that will last a lifetime versus lesser quality furniture found elsewhere. Now, I suppose there's a huge difference in what you'd put in your first apartment and what you would live with in the comfort of your own home. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings Made in USA sale is a great time to fill your home with solid, superior quality furniture to reflect your own love for life. With brands like Sam Moore, Stanton, Stickley, Hilltop Hickory, Simply Amish, and many more, Naturewood Home Furnishings has tables, chairs, couches, and, yes, nightstands, and more at their Made in USA sale. Find furniture that will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khdk.com.
The world has changed a lot these last few years. You can do pretty much anything from your home, including order your new Honda from Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Check out our great selection at StocktonHonda.com or come in today and get pre-approved all in the blink of an eye. Stockton Honda makes buying a car simple and stress-free.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
If you think getting hurt in an accident is bad, wait until you deal with the aftermath. Even what seems like a small accident can have devastating consequences to your health, employment, finances, and family. All this can be avoided by getting the right help and calling the Scranton Law Firm. Since 1973, we've collected $500 million for our clients and helped thousands of people just like you. Call us at 1-800-707-0707 or ScrantonLawFirm.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
It is time. The Undercover Brother. Live Nation has teamed up with Sactown Sports to hook you up with tickets to check out comedy legend Eddie Griffin live at Hard Rock Sacramento, April 13th. Hard Rock Sacramento, beautiful this time of year. Hit up the Folsom Lake hotline right now, looking for caller number 3 to win a pair of tickets to check out Eddie Griffin. For more information, visit sacktownsports.com, 916-339-1140, 916-339-1140, looking for caller number 3 because the Kings are 3-0 on this road trip.
Ooh, I like it. I like it a lot.
Going for 4, 916-339-1140, caller number 3, Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now for your pair of tickets to see Eddie Griffin.
So good.
I'm out on Clay. I'm sorry. I'm out on Clay. I'm out on Clay. I'm sorry. And I love Clay. Everybody loves
Everybody loves Clay. Everybody, even I love Clay Thompson.
Yeah.
Like I've got no shame in saying that, scaffolding Clay, all-time great. Clay on his little speedboat with Rocco.
Yeah.
Come on. Doesn't get better than that.
Do you remember when he tried the 360 slam dunk in China?
China
Clay.
China Clay was a vibe.
China
Absolutely.
Clay was definitely a vibe, but I'm sorry, Clay. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think he's got value, like you said, but yeah, I don't know.
I think he's just in a different part of his career, I guess you could say. It feels like he's got a lot of name brand value. Like it's just, you hear Klay Thompson and you're like, whoa, we're gonna try and make a move for Klay Thompson, but the reality of the situation is just not, it's not that glamorous. And it feels like, again, he's going to go to a team where that name value is going to carry something. And that's why the Lakers seem to make a lot of sense. But I just think if anybody at this point is trading for Klay Thompson, I think that they're hoping for, they're hoping a lot of marketing and one last hurrah. And it's not that Klay can't provide anything. He's still a really good shooter. He's able to play defense. It's not like he went from guarding people's best ball handlers to just completely being a turnstile. But, it's just, if you're trading for Klay Thompson, you can't expect to get the guy that you've seen on the Warriors all these years. Mm-hmm. He's just not that guy anymore. And I mean, you got to think to yourself, hey, why are the Warriors trying to trade Klay Thompson? This seems like the kind of guy who should retire a Warrior and should have a statue built in front of Chase Center.
It doesn't happen like that for a lot of players.
No, it's not. No. And in the words of, I think it was Draymond Green, they don't love you like that. You're not Kobe.
Well, I think they do
love him like that. But I just mean, not everybody gets the swan song. Not everybody gets the final game with the big clap off and all that stuff. And, a lot of the times it does end with, Tony Parker ends his career with the Hornets, and Vince Carter goes all around the world and all that stuff. So, while it might, and that applies for Steph too, but it definitely feels like now would be a really good time to just kind of separate from Klay, and maybe he can have a little bit of a second career with some other team just for a couple years.
You can make the argument they loved him too much with that contract.
Yeah.
If you didn't love you too much, maybe you are able to stay.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the situation. And then he turns it down again. They offered him again.
Yeah.
over the summer, and he said,
I'm not taking less than Draymond. Draymond, what, gets $25 million a year after this offseason?
It depends.
If I'm Clay, though.
At that time, no. Yeah. But Clay didn't expect this to happen. We have a quote here from the newest Miami Heat, Terry Rozier, as the Heat look to get off their 7-game losing streak tomorrow night against, of course, the Kings. Terry Rozier says losing in Miami is different than losing in Charlotte. Here's the quote. It's totally the opposite. In Charlotte, you're kind of used to losing. It's in the DNA. Over here, it's the total opposite. Nobody wants to lose. Nobody is fine with it. Close quote. So
yeah,
they're going to. So here, I have a question.
Yeah.
Before we get to Chuck Smart.
Yeah.
After this game tomorrow night, the Kings have their back-to-back with the Pacers and the Bulls, all on the road, right? Kings have kind of skated by. The Heat are digging deep for a win. I mean, losing 8 in a row just seems unfathomable. If the Heat come out, remember they used to wear those shots with LeBron, white hot.
Yes.
If the Heat come out white hot, and it's just halftime, the Kings are down 30.
Mm-hmm.
I would never be okay with the loss, but I would say coming up against a back-to-back, I'd be okay with looking at the bigger picture and say, Mike, give this about half the third and get your guys ready for your trip to Indianapolis.
Yeah, no, I mean, if it's that bad, definitely. You're in the middle of the longest road trip of the year.
Mm-hmm.
You just had a pretty low energy performance against Memphis. If you come out low energy again, to your point, maybe it is just maybe these guys are really tired in the middle of the road trip, in the middle of the season. And you're on a 4-game win streak. You can afford to drop one.
Yes.
And yeah,
it's a back-to-back,
but to your point too, if it's for the bigger picture of the problem that, I shouldn't say problem, but the thing then becomes, y'all better bring it against those two teams.
I get
There's
that.
no excuses after that.
I get that, but it might be worth it.
Definitely.
And that to me ensures that you would get one, because you don't want to sleep on the Bulls. I would hate for the Kings to just try to push this thing. You end up losing to the Heat, and now you have your back-to-back.
Another game,
and now it could cost you 2.
3, and then
now you
3
just
total.
dropped 3.
Right. Yeah.
So,
and that's a terrible way to end the road.
Because now you're 3. You'd be 3-3, and now the Cavs are waiting for you.
Yeah, exactly, and that's not an easy matchup either. So,
you guys were talking about the Hornets, the culture.
Yes.
Terry Rozier was talking about that.
Yeah,
Did
Malik
you happen to see that video of last night? After their coach got ejected, they're all.
It's a joke.
Yeah, I think it's a bad look, but I don't think it's as bad as it's being made out to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where what people just did it the other day with the Kings. Remember De'Aaron dapping up KD after the game, and Malik was talking with the ref. It's a little bit different because the Kings aren't in a losing situation anymore, but it's one of those things where fans don't like to see, but it is kind of the reality. Like, what is LaMelo are they just supposed to be depressed the entire time? Like,
LaMelo's not even playing, which is, I think he had been. I don't know if he's injured again, but that place is a mess. That organization is a mess.
Malik talked about it the other day, as a matter of fact. When the Kings were on the 4-game losing streak, Jason Anderson asked him, like, hey, things are kind of reeling here. How do you bounce back, or how do you deal with the emotions? And Malik's answer was, well, in Charlotte, 4-game losing streak wasn't that bad. It's kind of normal, actually. So, that's the kind of thing where, to Terry Rozier's point there too, that's the worst part is the cancer of losing becomes contagious, and it becomes something that you just kind of live with. And it doesn't feel different to lose games, and you don't have that disdain. And I think once that kind of thing seeps into your locker room, it's a wrap. It's so tough to come back from that.
Yeah, this is from the 916. Just a little note. Just saw this and wanted to share. Among players who have guarded at least 40 isolation possessions, Keegan Murray has allowed the fewest points per possession. Opponents are shooting 16% against Keegan in ISO. His vast improvement in on-ball defense, screen navigation, and physicality have been noteworthy. From the 916. Very well written, 916. That is the text of the day.
I could understand
916.
it. That's great.
That is the text of the day from the 916.
Absolutely. Not even close.
16.3%. He's allowed the fewest points among players who have guarded at least 40 isolation possessions. That's insane.
So how about that, Jimmy Butler? Like I said earlier, Jimmy Butler is going to look at Keegan and say, "Oh, you guys are going to ISO.
Yeah.
Y'all are going to let this kid guard me.
Back down and your little fade away.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You get the Keegan clamps. The Keegan clamps, Jimmy. There you go.
Better look out. Yeah, those are great numbers, and I mean, yeah, that's the development of Keegan, and that's where it's really nice, especially to see HB shooting so well because. You see, on a night like last night, I think Keegan ended up with 14 shots and HB ended up with 15. Like if HB can kind of handle a little bit more of that offensive load, it allows Keegan to defend at a higher level. And I think that's just a little extra bonus of HB playing well and Kevin Huerter too. I think when either one of those guys are hitting shots, it just allows Keegan to focus a little bit more on defense because Keegan's shot making then becomes a little less crucial for this team.
Do you think Keegan feels that throughout the game?
He's clamping people or if they're hitting,
they're kind of cold. Okay, I gotta go into two-way mode here.
I'm sure he gets a sense of it, but it probably is. It's definitely one of those unspoken things, but I'm sure he probably has a sense of, okay, the ball's just not really finding me and it hasn't found, or it could literally be something discussed as well. I mean, it could have been something, there's a pretty hard line drawn in terms of Harrison Barnes. It seems like game 42, quite literally the start of the second half of the season, really picked his game up. So maybe it was always in the plans to use the first 41 games to kind of throw Keegan Murray into the fire. And then the second half of the season, you could maybe infer that they are like, hey, let's do the things that got us to the playoffs last year. And, it's been great. Keegan obviously is going to determine the overall ceiling of this team. But for this year, this season, it feels like we should utilize Harrison Barnes and Kevin Huerter a bit more while we still have them and while Keegan might need a little relief.
Because, again, another bizarre game last night to where you don't have Harrison Barnes wasn't really balling.
No, 2 of 10.
I mean, Huerter kept people afloat or kept the team afloat with 17, but Keegan only took 7 shots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he only took 7. Wow.
So and he wasn't necessarily running around locking anybody up.
Yeah, who? John Conchar?
Yeah, right. I mean, my guy.
Clamps.
Yeah, was he running around locking up Scottie Pippen Jr. and Jacob Gilyard?
Yeah.
Again, just a weird game in general, but it's the development. We keep calling this the caterpillar season for Keegan Murray, but you could still, maybe the butterfly might come a little bit earlier than we think. That's also a possibility. It's always a possibility. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, Truck Smart Drive of the Week up next. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our client's best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involved.
all of these plays, the Chuck Smart Drive of the Week. Chris Watkins, take it away.
Yeah, I'm sure people can guess one of the plays that'll be involved here. Should we just do it off? I guess we should probably just do that one since everybody's probably guessing it's going to happen. And of course, we're talking about the catch that was the immaculate deflection, the what is the BA ricochet?
The BA ricochet. I saw the fluke to Ayuk.
The fluke to Ayuk is not bad.
Fluke to Ayuk.
I like that. I might have to take that one because it is a little bit of a jab as well. But nonetheless, Brandon Ayuk capitalizes on what was probably the most exciting play of the weekend. Don't ask ESPN top 10, but Brandon Ayuk capitalizes as the Niners had struggled the entire first quarter to really get things going. Brandon Ayuk has this incredible play, incredible catch, and here's how it sounded from Greg Papa.
Purdy out of the shotgun, drops a couple of steps, going to take a deep shot to Brandon Ayuk. It's the flag.
Oh, he caught it!
Caught! Ayuk caught it out of the air. A flag is also down.
Great.
Oh, he caught it.
He
caught it.
I love Tim Ryan. As we've established on this, Tim Ryan can do just absolutely no wrong in my eyes. I shouldn't say that. But anyways, what a great play from Brandon Ayuk. And that's not as there was only 2 games. That's not the only play that we felt was incredibly important. Usually the drive of the game is talking about some long, methodical drive that led to some game-winning opportunity. Well, in a way, this did lead to the Niners eventually getting the win, but this was absolutely, in my opinion, the most important drive for the Niners. Here's the Jahmyr Gibbs fumble.
Here is Gibbs. Up the middle, he runs into the wall. And the ball came out. Ball is loose. Who's got it? 49ers recover.
I think that's the play that really, really made it possible for the Niners to win that one. That was when they were down 17-24, and so that was to get the tie, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I believe.
That put them. Yeah, they were down 17-24 at that point. Yeah, and then that was just crazy because they get the ball and they go down and score, and then the next play, it's in their hand. Almost unbelievable. Like
it was.
I was shocked. I didn't even it felt so right. It was unbelievable.
It was legitimately one of those things, and I put this for this next play we're going to have. But it was something that legitimately feels like it only happens in Madden. You know, like you're playing Madden and you're down by a couple scores, and it's like, okay, I'm just going to hit the strip tackle every single time here because I need a turnover. And then for you to get it on the very first play, absolutely insane. The perfect timing of it all just could not have worked out better for the Niners. And yeah, I mentioned the other play that felt like it was straight out of Madden. This play in the Chiefs-Ravens game where the Ravens, Zay Flowers messed up tons in that game to put them in bad situations, but Zay almost made it up. He dives for the end zone, and then this happens.
2nd and 8 from the 9. Jackson to Flowers. He dives. The ball came out. It's recovered by Kansas City. Did the ball come out before he broke the plane? I think you're right. They're calling it a 2nd and 8. Call that could determine the whole game right here.
Snead,
It's out.
who has played at the highest level this entire season, Jim. Snead has defended the other team's best receiver, traveled with him all year, and he has shut him down week in, week out, and makes the biggest play of the season, getting the ball back for the Chiefs.
It's all
just crazy. Again, like something straight out of Madden where it's complete desperation, literally is diving into the end zone and punches it out perfectly at the 1, and then everybody's favorite rule of it being a touchback because they recovered it in the end zone is a whole separate thing.
Did Tony Romo play for the Chiefs? Because man, does he love the Chiefs. That guy
loves quarterback play.
Bigger blown opportunity. I think I know the answer, but bigger blown opportunity. Ravens or the Lions?
Ravens.
They had home field,
right?
Yeah, they had
Ravens were the favorite for all playoffs. They're like, this is the team to beat. They're the team.
But would the argument be the Lions because
Lions had it?
Well, they had it, and well, now we know Ben Johnson's staying. But
right.
The argument is you might not get the NFC is down.
Yeah,
the Ravens are going to have another opportunity.
The Chiefs scored 17.
Yeah,
the Chiefs scored 17 points. They ran the ball 6 or 8 times in the second half.
Yeah.
The Ravens.
Good point.
Blew. The Ravens had it, dude. Lamar throwing that pick.
Yeah.
If you get a field goal there. Speaking of that pick,
here's how it sounded.
Has now reached the Chiefs 25, 2nd and 10. To the end zone again, and it is intercepted. Intercepted by Deion Bush, who just came in 2 plays ago for Mike Edwards.
Lamar throws his helmet. They had 7 minutes almost there. 3 timeouts still. Kansas City had 2, so whatever, but still.
Yeah.
You are in such a good position to win at home in Baltimore. You are the juggernaut. This is your year, right? Everyone's talking about Mahomes is down. This is the year to get Mahomes.
This is the year.
No one can do it. Josh Allen, Lamar.
It's all left to
what
Brock
happened?
Purdy.
Tua.
Did you see all the memes for Brock Purdy in his outfit coming in?
No,
looks
the
like
Coles Cash thing.
Looks like he just updated the teams. There's a whole list. Just updated the team software.
He's some IT guy coming in.
Someone said he looks like the cool substitute teacher.
He's like an IT bro.
Well,
that was a really bad throw.
It's all up to Brock Purdy now and the San Francisco 49ers to save us from Taylor Swift getting her first Super Bowl ring. Do not put it past the NFL to give her a ring.
They'll probably give her one, win or lose.
There's a lot. Speaking of, there's a lot going on about Travis Kelce possibly popping the question.
I saw that
after the game.
I saw that. It's a prop.
You guys ever date a girl for 3 months and then marry her?
It's been longer than 3 months.
No.
But less than a year? No.
Has it been
waited very long.
Didn't it start during the year?
It started during the off season. Yeah.
Who's your pick for?
I mean, there's one option.
The fluke to Ayuk?
Yeah, it's the fluke to Ayuk. It's the BA ricochet. It is the immaculate deflection.
It's right here.
Here's how
Purdy
it's
out of the shotgun, drops a couple of steps, going to take a deep shot to Brandon Ayuk. It's the floated. Caught. Ayuk caught it out of the air. A flag is also down. To Brandon Ayuk. It's the floated. Caught. Ayuk caught. The floated. Caught. Ayuk caught it out of the air.
Just doing a little remix there.
So excited.
He caught it.
Oh, he caught it.
He caught it. There you go.
I don't blame him. It was insane.
The fluke to Ayuk. What was it? The BA one?
The BA ricochet.
The BA ricochet. I love that as well. That was your Truck Smart Drive of the Week, brought to you by Truck Smart, your premium retailer and installer of truck and SUV accessories for over 30 years. Your truck's going to love them. Got some NFL news here. You have Jerry Jones saying he will not commit to a Dak Prescott contract extension. I thought he just got paid. The foot thing when he broke his foot, I thought he just got paid. Yeah. Absolutely not. Good on Jerry. And we also have Kellen Moore. Are you worried, Niners fans? Kellen Moore hired as Eagles offensive coordinator. Didn't seem like he really did too much with the Chargers.
No, really didn't seem like he did much of anything. I mean,
and he was a hot name.
He got a lot of credit with the Cowboys, but it didn't seem like that Chargers offense looked much different than how they had in years previous. And that Eagles situation, it'd be tough for it to look as bad as it did last year, as clunky as it did this season. But I mean, they just hired a defensive coordinator as well yesterday, right? Didn't they? I can't remember who it was, but it was, we talked about it a bit yesterday. I mean, that's appropriate for how they played this season. It felt like Vic Fangio. That's right. He left Miami to go join them. So, it's good on them. They feel like they didn't perform to the level that they should have this year. And, the coordinators are the first thing to go. And we know Nick Sirianni is probably next. So, it's just kind of the order of operations there.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, the Eagles I still have question marks about Jalen Hurts, and I've said it time and time again.
Yeah.
That's why when I had question marks about Brock Purdy, it wasn't a Brock Purdy thing. I had question marks about Jalen Hurts, who balled out the season before. But these one season sample sizes, because who's the next one season sample size? Jordan Love is up.
Jordan Love.
That's the thing about sitting.
Baker Mayfield too.
Yeah, that's the thing about sitting these guys is you have to make these decisions. And now Jordan Love, hey, he's got to get paid based on the timing and when he played, and he ended on a hot streak, so now he gets paid, and we have no clue what Jordan Love actually is. I think there's something to be worried about if you are an NFC fan.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
we don't know.
Yeah.
People thought the same thing about Jalen Hurts. I think that Jordan Love is it looks like it's more repeatable than what Jalen Hurts did, but who knows? All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, something has happened that has not happened in a very long time, and that's why people need to put some respect on De'Aaron Fox's name. Also, has Lamar Jackson hit his ceiling? Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Has Monty put together a roster that can help make a deep playoff run this season?
Just trying to give coach options, give him guys that can help us win in a variety of areas. Obviously, our top guys are going to play every game, but there's going to be other times, whether it's injuries, matchups, we've got to have some variety on the bench for coach to point to and say, go in there and help us win.
Tune into every Kings game this season
on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
It's time to buck up Sacramento. The professional bull riders are back. PBR Sacramento Wrangler Long Live Cowboys Classic will take over downtown's Golden One Center this February 2nd through 4th. 3 huge nights of edge-of-your-seat bucking, featuring some of the biggest bulls and toughest cowboys on the planet. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster. Get your tickets for a weekend of non-stop bucking action this February 2nd through 4th.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. Plus line dancing, a mechanical bull, and Sacramento's best food trucks. One-day tickets are on sale now, starting at $46, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more info, visit CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by Hobler Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And if you've even thought of replacing your old, outdated, inefficient windows, now is the time to take action.
Right now at Bell Brothers, when you buy one window, you'll get the second one for 30% off. That's right. Buy one, get the second one 30% off.
That's real savings, up to $6,000. You have to buy at least 4 windows to qualify, and you can't mix windows and doors. But beyond that, every second window is 30% off.
For example, when you buy 10 windows, you will get 5 windows at 30% off. We also have 0% interest financing available for qualified buyers. Call for details.
To take advantage of our buy one, get one 30% off sale, call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Awesome. Hey, babe, can you check the front door? My package is here.
Yeah, on it. Hey, are we still watching our show tonight?
New episode on Prime? You bet. That reminds me, let's hit Whole Foods this afternoon. We need snack supplies.
From package deliveries to entertainment and even fresh groceries, Amazon is in front of thousands of customers every single day. Learn how you can leverage their reach for your business. Text digital to 916-766-5105 now. Make the smart move. Text digital to 916-766-5105.
Discover Timber Creek Ballroom, a hidden gem in West Roseville, boasting an 18-hole golf course and the perfect event venue. Whether you're planning a wedding, a corporate event, or any special occasion, Timber Creek Ballroom offers natural beauty, elegant spaces, and affordability with room for 50 to 300 guests, indoors or outdoors. Timber Creek Ballroom has the perfect spot for your event. Visit timbercreekballroom.com for details. Excellent meets affordability at Timber Creek Ballroom for your extraordinary events come to life.
Time to get your tickets for the Sacramento Sports Hall of Fame celebration, February 4th at Thunder Valley. Inductees include Matt Barnes. Go to Ticketmaster.com.
The Kings look to extend their win streak to 5 in a row.
He scores again. Harrison Barnes is just in fuego.
It's the Kings and the Heat from Miami, Wednesday at 4:30 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
Kendrick Perkins always has something to say. And this is on one of the shows where he frequents, ESPN. Kendrick Perkins says it's time for the Miami Heat and Butler to go their separate ways.
Okay, Kendrick.
I believe the Miami Heat need to do the right thing by Jimmy and trade him to a team that could actually compete for a title this season.
I'm sorry.
The Heat were in the finals.
1 7-game losing streak, and all of a sudden we got to trade Jimmy Butler?
The Heat were in the finals last season.
Yes. They were an 8 seed also last season. So if the argument is they're having a tough regular season, it's clearly a sign that Miami needs to move on. Well, I mean, they were terrible last season throughout the regular season, and then you saw how they turned it on. So I don't, per usual, I have no idea what Kendrick Perkins is talking about.
So we also like to joke on this show about Richard Sherman, and clearly not about Richard Sherman, who I did see at the game. I was going to see what's up to him, but he just looked really busy. And not that, I was going to tell him about the joke, but it seems that we are not the only ones that have noticed this changing of the guard with Richard Sherman. And right here we have just a random ex-user who, it looks like Richard Sherman had a deleted tweet where he says, LOL, went to Super Bowl and was pro bowler, all pro. The Seahawks haven't sniffed the promised land since I left. He deleted that. That was January 29th.
Yesterday.
That was yesterday, and it was probably in a response to somebody. So this person takes that screenshot and also posts the video of Marshawn during that Thursday Night Football where he said, bruh, what's going on here?
Issue? Right.
And this guy then tweets, if you just got into football, you'll probably think Richard Sherman won a Super Bowl and made a name for himself with the Niners and not the Seahawks, laughing emoji. Richard Sherman is a clown. Cam Chancellor and Marshawn Lynch would never. So this guy is clearly, he's got the Seahawks logo in his background, clearly a hurt Seahawks fan. Richard Sherman responds to this random person. They don't care about you or the Seahawks, bum. LOL, the Seahawks don't do anything for you but charge you to come to the game. Get a life. Then somebody else responds, you only won a ring in Seattle, Richard. Settle down. Everyone will always remember that. Lost the Niners the Super Bowl, getting burned against the Chiefs. Richard, don't care where I won. Plenty didn't win anything at all for any franchise. Every player that played for the Seahawks before we got there didn't win. So what? They can't rep the team? Shut up. The guy then says, didn't deny my Super Bowl claim. I respect it since you know it's true. Nobody cares if you root for the Niners, but why do you hate the Seahawks for it?
That's the great question.
This is the closing. Yeah. Don't need to deny every idiot thing you say. I don't hate the Seahawks. I talk about them when they are relevant, but keep buying jerseys and support your team.
I think he shows his hate of the Seahawks by talking so much about the Niners.
Yeah, that's kind of a rough look for Sherman. I know great. In Ninersville, everybody's going to ride for Sherman. Basically what I take from that is he essentially said, he kind of told on himself there, no? That right at the end, don't need to deny, I talk about them when they are relevant. So now if the Seahawks turn this thing around,
you're going to be championing the Seahawks?
Yeah, because
he could. I mean, I guess he
can do whatever he wants.
From his perspective, everyone is gone now. Like Russ is gone, Pete's gone. I'm sure there's people in the front office that are still there, but from his perspective, I'm sure he's like, yeah, actually it would be fine. Or it would be more acceptable in his mind.
It just seems a little different. It seems different. Great. The Niners have been, the problem is the Niners have been relevant this whole time.
Yeah.
Right. The Seahawks had a wave and they kind of were still relevant with Russell Wilson. Then that thing went down and tried to make a splash, but they haven't really done much this whole time. Yeah. The Niners haven't really dropped off besides those couple years between Harbaugh, when they got from Harbaugh and then eventually got to Shanahan, but Richard was on the team and then finishes, and now the Niners are still relevant, and now he's in the media. So
it feels like we need a 30 for 30 where we get I need Bobby Wagner, Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor. I need like the defense of that team in a room together, because it is an interesting point that you don't hear Cam Chancellor talking like that.
But Cam Chancellor didn't play for the Niners.
No, for sure. But it's forget the Niner element of it. Why do you hate the Seahawks? I mean, I think we understand a little bit why he hates the Seahawks, but why is it running that deep?
What he said in that clip with Marshawn on air, by the way, when he said, "Oh, well, I tore my Achilles and they cut me," and it's like, Richard,
welcome to professional sports, especially football.
Exactly. But if he wants to hold that, that's fine.
I guess, yeah.
But
it felt like it was before that too. I mean, like
nobody liked Russell.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Right? And Marshawn calls Sherman out on air, and Sherman did a pretty darn good job to play it off, but he kept it real. He's just not messing with them. And if that's his bag, I mean, Richard Sherman, smart guy, went to Stanford. So maybe he's to the point now where I'm at such a different point in my life, that I don't even walk around. Like you might, Richard, he might feel like, yeah, I get some of the notoriety, or I got jump started because of my career with the Seahawks and the Super Bowl and the plays I made with the Seahawks.
Right.
But if I don't have a relationship with the Seahawks, I don't got a relationship with the Seahawks. Right. And I played with the Niners.
You gotta know where,
And when maybe the Niners were the only team to call me, right? Where maybe the Niners were the only team to come calling them. Like I said, local ties. McCaffrey went to Stanford as well.
Well, and like you said, he's a businessman too. He's a smart guy too. He's
hitching his wagon and now
to the good team, right?
To the good team.
And now
he basically said that.
When Fox or whoever is going to say, hey, who's like an ex-Niner or like a Niner expert that we can get on? It's the first person they're going to call but Richard Sherman.
Because what that kid said, or what that person said, I don't know if they're a kid, what that person said, if I were just now getting into football, I would think that Richard Sherman had all of his accolades with the Niners. Richard Sherman is like, good, because they're relevant now and the Seahawks are not.
Right.
They don't even have a head coach.
So if I could be known as the Niner guy, that's a pretty good job now.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to compare this to a different situation.
It's tough. I mean, there's not really anybody.
Who's a guy who did most of their accolades with one team?
It would almost be like if Shaq just hated the Lakers and just never talked about the Lakers.
But you have to ride for the Heat?
The Heat or the Magic or something, or the Celtics or the Suns or the Cavs. He's got a lot of different options there. But
it's somebody from the Bulls.
Yeah. Well, and also
somebody from the Bulls.
It's the media part of it too.
Is it Steve Kerr? Because Steve Kerr won. The problem is Richard really didn't do much with the Niners.
Jordan loves the Wizards.
No.
You know what it would be like, actually, to the Bulls' point? It would be like Scottie Pippen just championing the Jailblazers like crazy.
Yep.
If he's like, you know what? You know who actually is the team that, nobody talks about? Yeah, whatever. 6 rings is fine. But like, dude, we had Zach Randolph. We had Arvydas Sabonis. We had David Stoudemire.
But the Blazers would have to be hot right now.
Yes, exactly. Well, that's kind of
where Bulls are in the toilet.
Yeah.
So
Richard, and it's almost like an inverse of media marketing.
He's not going to get away from this. And if you figure he responded to this dude, Richard is probably getting this stuff all day long. And I haven't listened to his pod, but I would imagine
he's on First Take now too, isn't he? Or on Undisputed,
no, he's on Undisputed
or one of those?
Yeah. I would imagine if he hasn't already addressed this, he will, because he's probably just tired of it. Or maybe he doesn't, because he's Richard Sherman. This is from Michael Baldacci on the Sack Chat. I'm still not sold on Sherman as a diehard Niners fan. The Niners were better to him than he was to the Niners when he played. Now he's all about the Niners, ... Yeah, maybe it's not about the red and the gold. Maybe it's about the green.
Yes, exactly.
That's probably what this is about here.
I can see it. He could turn heel for sure.
A couple more years.
Go right back
Niners.
to the Crabtree.
Yeah.
Just go right back to it.
Guys, right. The Seahawks somehow get Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
They're balling now. The Niners they did their thing. Now it's the Seahawks' turn. Guys, when I was with the Seahawks, they are just a Class A organization. Richard, if I see you in Vegas, I promise, please come to the show. Please come on the show, Richard. We're just messing around. Got to get to a break. When we get back, Crosstalk with the Drive Guys, Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Kings look to extend their win streak to 5 in a row.
He scores again. Harrison Barnes is just in fuego.
It's the Kings and the Heat from Miami, Wednesday at 4:30 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
For your big game party, you better pop in to Total Wine and More for a guaranteed win. We've got thousands of bottles down every aisle, and prices so low they're gonna make you smile. Ask our helpful guides for a recommendation to add some wine and beer to your beverage station. Discover something new and let the fun begin. Come on down to Total Wine and More for a guaranteed win.
Drink responsibly, B21.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
Marcus, what happened?
I was changing my oil and I spilled some on the floor.
Oh, well, use these $50 bills to wipe it up.
Perfect. Got any more?
Yeah, take a couple hundred.
Stop. Instead of using money, use an old rag. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
In the shag bag, if you want to become better at golf, maybe consider moving to the southern parts of the United States. According to the USGA, 8 out of 10 states with the lowest average handicap are situated either along or near the country's southern border. Lowest handicap is Mississippi with an average of 11.6. California comes in 35th with average handicap of 17.1. Where do you fit? Want to gain another 20 yards off the tee? Move up another set of tees. Don't let your ego get in the way. Each of us can only hit the ball so far. If you're not reaching the par fours in 2 shots, go ahead and move up a tee. You'll make more pars and a birdie or two, and your enjoyment will go up twofold. Meredith Lebeck, Director of Player Development at Granite Bay, says you can sharpen your putting skills by playing a game similar to horse on the putting green. Each person putts with the person closest to the hole winning and the others in the group getting the first letter, such as a G in the word golf. Spell golf, and you're out. Try it. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
When accidents turn life upside down, AutoAccident.com is in your corner. Compassionate advice, loyal support, and the courage to fight for you. AutoAccident.com. That's AutoAccident.com.
Wonderful, my magic. Gorillas in the nest.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
We're back. We're here with one half of the Drive Guys, Whitey Gleason, and a special edition of Cross Talk.
Yeah.
As we have a football feud we want to do.
Yeah. Hey,
bringing it back.
Before we get to that, I want to see what you think of my new idea for a song. It's just an idea.
For a song?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like, let's see.
You know, Alan's the jingle master.
I know.
Chiefs will never, ever, ever beat the 49ers. You can show your tight end's girlfriend they're on TV, but Chiefs will never, ever, ever beat the 49ers.
Wow.
Not bad.
I'm into that.
Not bad at all.
I'm into that. Now, I like that. Now, the NFL, they'd have to flip that because, you know, the word on the street we're seeing on the text line is that the NFL wants the Chiefs to win for Taylor Swift. The money.
Right.
The money.
Well, aren't they gonna win either? I mean, won't they get a lot of money either way?
Just by
That's
her
what
being
I would
there?
think.
Yeah.
Well, she is. I saw she's gonna be overseas.
Yeah, she's supposed to be in Tokyo the day before and then fly. I really wish I didn't know this information. And then she's going to be flying as quickly as possible to Vegas to try and make the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. Definitely
She'll
some
be on
really
Radio Row.
interesting
She'll
stuff.
be on
there.
Radio Row.
Will she be on Radio Row? There's no way.
We're going to get
There's
her.
no way.
We're gonna get her.
All right.
We'll see.
Look
We'll
forward
see.
to that. All right. Welcome to the football feud. It looks like it's going to be you, Mr. Stiles, against your good friend and
Wow.
partner,
Okay.
1-on-1.
Chris Watkins. All right.
Okay.
All right. Now, before I give you the category,
Yeah.
it's going to have to do with teams that have played in the Super Bowl.
Oh, boy.
Before I tell you, I want you to know there's a minimum. You have to have played to be on this list. You have to have played in at least 2 Super Bowls. Okay. So just so you know.
Okay.
All right. So if you haven't played in 2 Super Bowls, you cannot be on this list.
Okay.
All right. So everybody ready? Shout your name to buzz in here.
Okay.
When you want to answer. Can you name the team with the highest all-time Super Bowl winning percentage?
Chris.
Yes, Chris.
I'm going to go with the oh my gosh, I shouldn't have done this. I'm going to go with the Indianapolis Colts.
Indianapolis Colts are not in the top 6.
That was just a shot in the dark.
Alan, you want to steal?
50%?
Yeah, I'll steal.
The Colts, by the way, have 500.
Oh,
so they're
okay.
not on the not in the top.
I think it would have to. I think the Cowboys would have to be in there.
Dallas Cowboys are actually.
I was afraid of volume.
They
volume
didn't make
is
the
not
list
your,
either.
It's not your friend here.
They didn't make the list either.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to
625. So it's back to you, Chris.
I'm going to go with the obvious answer then.
Okay.
I'll go with the New England Patriots.
New England Patriots, they're not on the list either.
Okay.
They're ninth
What's going on
at
here?
545.
Okay, I got it now. I got it now. The
This is
Steelers.
sick. This is sick.
Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yes.
Steelers 6-2 in Super Bowls,
Gotta be number
750
one
winning
answer.
percentage. That's the number 5
Oh
answer.
my gosh.
So that gives you the option
We're
now for the
screwed.
rest of the list: pass or play. Chris Watkins.
What happens if I pass?
If you pass in it, he could run the table and win. But if you pass and then he stumbles, you would have the last chance to scoop and score.
I'm handing off.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that was a mistake, let me tell you.
Okay.
I definitely don't have a history of overthinking these things.
And no strike right now. No
Yes.
strikes against anybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will go with the Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay
Good one.
Packers played in 5 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
They've won 4, 800 winning percentage. Tied for third. Third, number 3 answer.
Oh, my gosh.
You're cruising. That's good.
It doesn't feel like it. Okay.
You guys know that Green Bay's 3rd, Steelers 5th, Dallas not on there,
Patriots not
New
on
England
there.
not on there, and the Colts not on there.
Not on there.
Yeah.
All right.
Super Bowl teams with the highest all-time winning percentage in Super Bowl
Man,
play.
this is so
Can I
tough.
help?
No.
No, I guess you can't.
No phoning a friend, huh? It'd be okay with me, Nate, but they shot me down.
Oh, well, phoning a friend does sound nice. Let's go with
I do have to
give me the Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bears.
I don't like that answer. Let me tell you.
Yeah, they've only been in the one.
Yeah,
they
let's
won.
go.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's a strike.
Wait,
they've been in 2.
They've been in 2.
Oh,
well, there you go. They just
they're
lost
1-1.
Yeah,
that's
1-1.
right. Yeah, 1-1. I'm sorry.
Okay, so
yeah,
that's
it's
one
the
strike.
Jets are 1-0 and the Saints are 1-0. Pardon me. Thank you, Nate.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Bears are 1-1, so that doesn't make the list.
Ooh.
Football feud.
Let's go with the New York Football Giants.
They've played in 5. They've won 4. 800 winning percentage, tied with the Packers.
Oh my gosh!
So right now,
okay,
you've got 2 teams tied for number 1, and you got number 6.
Yeah.
1 strike against you.
Bird.
Can I go with the?
And if he can name them, he wins. If he can't,
let's go with
score time.
I know there's at least one loss in here, but there's a couple. Let's go with the Raiders.
The Raiders. They're one of 3 teams with a 600 winning percentage. It doesn't crack. 2 strikes against you. Yeah. The Chiefs, Washington, and the Raiders were 600 winning percentage.
Oh my gosh. Whitey's giving us clues here if you're paying attention. Jeez. Let's go with the Denver Broncos.
Denver Broncos. Oh, they lost a lot of Super Bowls. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Strike 3 and you're out because they were 2-4, I think. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, Alan Stiles. This could still work out for you, Chris.
This could. It definitely could.
2 teams
Feel
tied
like I
for the
took a lot
best
of
winning
good names.
percentage in Super Bowl history. 1 team at 6th. Name any of those teams and you win. If not, Chris is the champion today.
The Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens? All right, 6th on the list, I will tell you. At the bottom of the list here, top 6. 5-2 in Super Bowls, the San Francisco 49ers.
Never heard of
14 winning percentage. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 2-0, 1,000 winning percentage, tied for the best Super Bowl winning percentage of all time with the Baltimore Ravens. 2-0. Congratulations.
Bing bong.
I don't like this game. It doesn't make sense. I didn't understand the rules.
That's why I handed
It's
it
not
off
fair.
to you. It's just process of elimination.
Nah, I don't like
Way to
it.
go.
Rigged.
You didn't know the
Under
rules?
Under protest.
Is there round 2?
No, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. For today.
I got the
like it.
ring.
I don't like it.
I got the championship. I'm really mad about the Bucks, not remembering the Bucks.
I'm not upset at not remembering. the
Yeah.
Bucks. I just don't think about the Bucks at all.
Yeah, that's true.
That was like
Wow.
the last team that
Great
came to
stuff.
my mind.
So
I'm surprised the
Tampa Bay,
Vikings
Baltimore-
aren't on that list. Over.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay, Baltimore, Giants, Packers, Steelers, 49ers, Dallas, Las Vegas, Washington, Kansas City, New England, and the Colts.
You can put it on the board. Yeah. It's okay.
Sorry, Chris.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
And
one.
you've actually played. You should
I
have had
have
some
played.
kind of
I've played several
advantage.
times.
Yeah,
It feels like
you
I
did all the work for
I
me.
literally overthink it every single time without failure.
Who did you say last?
Who did I don't even. Broncos.
He
Yeah.
went Denver.
That's who. I was going to say Broncos.
Yeah.
If you had said another team, I would have said Broncos and lost.
Hey, that makes me feel so much better. I'm glad. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for telling me that. I needed to hear that right now.
Just,
So,
just a nice W.
Do you guys know if you're
Just
are you
overthink
gonna
this
watch
stage.
Super Bowl somewhere? Are you still not sure? Is it gonna be home where you can actually watch?
Yeah. I'm a big watch at home with I don't like the Super Bowl party. Shocker. I like to watch the game.
Emphasis on watch.
Yes,
Yeah.
watch the game.
Yeah.
And the halftime is great. I'll pay attention to the halftime, but I don't like, everyone talking and being, talking amongst themselves. And I'm like, I'm really trying to focus on what's going on here. So.
Yeah, I'm more of a quiet guy too. I like to just watch it by myself. No, I love the parties. I love the parties. And this will be the first time. I don't know what we're going to do because we have the little one this year.
Where's
first
Alan?
Super
Where's
Bowl.
Alan? He's posting something.
Yeah, exactly. So this will be the first
He's live
time.
right
This will be the first time we won't continue our tradition of going to a Super Bowl party, but my wife being upset that people aren't being quiet during the halftime performance, which is my favorite thing. When I go to the Super Bowl party, she's just like, why are people talking? I want to hear this.
Yeah.
Well, we should have watched it at home.
Right.
But we won't be able to do that. I think we might go to a friend's or something like that, but she's going to have to, the baby's going to have to nap at some point. So nothing crazy. Buffalo chicken dip though, at some point. We're not doing it yet though, Whitey. Well, actually we can do it later in the week because I don't know how much crosstalk we'll do while we're in Vegas. We got to get we're doing the priority list or the hierarchy of Super Bowl food.
Yeah, I don't have a lot there. I'll think on it, but I'd I'm kind of like Chris. It's like, get out of my way.
Okay.
I want to see the TV.
Yeah.
All right. The game's on.
Yeah. Pizza and wings. That's all I need.
People get really mad about if it takes when I watch my food shows and they'll do a Super Bowl special and they'll say it's tailgate, so you can't use two hands, right? It has to be a finger food for tailgate. And I think, no. Yeah. You know, what about the nice tailgates where there's tri-tip and really good food?
The best way to do it, I've done this a few times, other people have done this, and I was part of it, is when you have a football game the day of. You're out playing football.
Yes.
Yeah. Then you go in.
On Super Bowl Sunday?
Yes.
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's fun.
I never heard of that.
The worst thing about when you get older, no one wants to play. Let's go play football.
Right.
No, I don't want.
Yeah. I might take in a rant. You want to golf? We could golf Sunday.
Golf on Super Bowl Sunday?
Yeah. We got to wake up at like 6.
You know what? I will say the worst part about Super Bowl Sunday is the pre-show, the like 8-hour pregame show.
It's already started.
Anything. It is.
I think it's fun. Well, not just how long it is, but the panel just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
I think Fox is at 8 dudes now, right? And it's just going to keep growing. I want it to keep growing. I want to get to 15 guys where they don't have enough space.
Michael Strand, by the way, did a horrible job.
When?
Presenting the trophy.
So bad.
Yeah.
So
really
bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He didn't
Joe
know anybody's
Montana's
name.
not there because he doesn't have anything else to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was
supposed to present the trophy.
Yes, exactly.
He was not very good at presenting it either. He was like, okay, Joe, here's the trophy. Okay, Joe, can you give it to Jed, please? And it was like, all right, Joe, can you stand over here now?
Give me a soda.
Okay.
All right.
What exactly are you doing here?
Thank you for listening to Stiles.
Congratulations, Alan.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to my W. Thank you for listening to Stiles and Watkins. Thank you to Nate Littlefield. Thank you to Chris Beerman. We will be back tomorrow. Listen to the Drive Guys starting right now with Whitey Gleason and Kyle Draper. Until tomorrow, secure the bag, light the beam.
For the